It's the final Friday night in the month of September. That means two things. One, next month the playoffs will be here. And two, if you're a serious contender for a conference championship, now's the time to make hay. It's put up or shut up in the Hoosier Crossroads Conference tonight as Brownsburg, 2-1 in the league, takes on Westfield, who is also 2-1 in the Hoosier Crossroads Conference, in a huge conference showdown tonight at Westfield High School's Riverview Health Stadium. Hi, everyone, and welcome. What a gorgeous Friday night it is. 80 degrees here in Westfield as the purple and white clad Brownsburg Bulldogs come calling to take on the Shamrocks of Westfield. I'm Rob Blackman. My broadcast partner is Big Jan Bozier. Both teams, as I just mentioned, Jan, are 2-1 in the Hoosier Crossroads Conference. If you have any serious considerations on winning the conference title, you got to have this one tonight, don't you?
Got to have this one. Absolutely the biggest game on the schedule for both of these ball clubs. They both know it.
People ask me all the time, why do you coach? It's not about money or glory. It's not even about winning.
Hi, everybody. I'm Brad Silbert. Welcome to Hamilton County Television Game Day, the best of IHSAA high school football. We've got 5 great games that we're going to be looking at tonight. Included in those 5 are Chittard at Guerin. Hamilton Southeastern is traveling over to Zionsville. Brownsburg is at Westfield. Avon travels to Fishers, and Heritage Christian at Covenant Christian. It's all brought to you by our friends at Logan Street Signs and Manners. Let's join the action.
Network. Remember, if you plan on enjoying this game tonight, or maybe some of our games we've had earlier this year, you can download any of our IHSAA TV or Champions Network broadcasts. Simply click the download button on any archive by going to IHSAATV.org. That's where you'll find this game archived when it goes final. But for now, how about if we watch it live? What do you say? Brownsburg will get the opening kickoff. That's how we will start this game here tonight. Brownsburg in the traveling white uniforms. And Westfield wears the home greens for a homecoming Friday night.
Rob, I really believe the key really for both of these offensive coordinators is move the chains, keep your offenses on the field.
R.J. Miles and Ethan Harless are deep for Brownsburg, but there won't be a chance to return this one because once it crosses the goal line in high school football, it is, of course, an automatic touchback. So here we go. From the 20-yard line is where we will begin this ball game. The first snap from scrimmage will be coming from this Brownsburg offense, again led by Ben Easters, the junior who's already committed to play at Kansas. 52% completions this year, 963 yards, 13 touchdowns, and how about this, only 2 interceptions this season for Easters. He's joined in the backfield by the Ball State commit, the senior Donovan Marcus, who's the leading rusher on the Brownsburg football team. And they'll give it to Marcus, the very first play of scrimmage. We'll head 3 yards straight ahead. A 3-yard run for Marcus. 576 rushing yards, 4 touchdowns on the season coming in for the senior Donovan Marcus.
Well, I think Westfield starts off with a bang here. Staying low, really got low. And a nice stop out there by Grady Cole. Stayed incredibly low. The junior, 6'3", 295 on that tackle.
Easters in the backfield again here from the shotgun, and this time they'll keep it on the ground, but this is Devin Jones. Now, this is interesting. Jones has only carried the ball now 9 times all season. That was his 9th carry, but they put him in the backfield with Marcus, and Jones has the run out to the 26-yard line.
Well, you know, they're not in bad position here in 3rd down with about 5. This is a good place to be. Not a lot of game, but still, this is a good 3rd down position to be in, run or pass. They got 5 receivers here, Rob, no backs.
Indeed, empty backfield, 1 minute into the game here for Easters. And he wants to throw. Has Marcus out of the backfield, and I don't think he got the first down. He did not. A great job there of open field tackling by Benji Welch of the Westfield Shamrocks.
Well, this is just an underneath route. My question is, you got to know where that first down's at. Take that route a yard down the field a little bit here and get the first down. It was a great timing pattern, but they're still going to be short. Looks like they might be going for it, or will they try to draw Westfield all sides?
4th and 2. Easters looking to the sideline. John Hart calling the plays, the head coach of the Bulldogs in his 4th season as the head coach at Brownsburg. And this is a roll of the dice early in the game, 4th and 2. They'll give it to Marcus, and he will pick up the first down. He made the first man miss. He's still on his feet all the way out to the 48-yard line before he will finally be tackled there. But it's a first down run, and it comes on 4th and 2. And good thing that Eli Patchett was able to catch him from behind because he was about to get off and running to the races.
Marcus Donovan, nice cut back inside, stays low. And, boy, this is a great run to get this game going.
Boy, 4th and 2, deep in your own territory. Brownsburg went for it, picked up the first down. And again, they'll give the ball to their leading ball carrier, Donovan Marcus, a Ball State commit. He is a senior, and he has a run over the 50, and they are into Westfield territory. Patchett again helping tackle for Westfield. Patchett, a two-way player. He's also not only a defensive player, but he's their leading ball carrier. And now we have a 5-yard penalty against Westfield because the Shamrocks jumped into the neutral zone before the snap.
Rob, you think about it. Was it a gamble? Well, let's remind ourselves there are 4 linemen on that Brownsburg ball club that are all committed to major colleges. So you really think that's not near the gamble when you consider they've got some linemen up there that are considered really, really good.
Good point. And we saw how well Hamilton Southeastern ran the ball last week against Westfield. You can be certain Brownsburg saw that same game film. Marcus got his feet cut out from under him that time as he was trying to turn it up the field. Again, it was Eli Patchett defensively, the first in the backfield for Westfield. Now, it is enough for a first down. He didn't need much, a yard, and that's what he got. First down for the Brownsburg Bulldogs.
Well, I just talked about moving the change. Brownsburg coming out and doing just that, eating clock, moving the change, getting in field positions exactly the way you want to start a game, especially on the road.
Ball is on the 41 of Westfield, 1st and 10. Easter's on a play action this time. He's going to go for it all down the right sideline, and that ball is overthrown. No one had a chance at that, whether it be offense or defense. He was looking for Preston Terrell, their leading receiver, but that ball was well overthrown, incomplete.
Pretty well covered here, man-to-man coverage out of Westfield. Really nowhere to throw the ball unless he makes him come back for it.
That was Grant Joyce, who was stride for stride with a wide receiver. 2nd and 10. Back to the ground game they go. Marcus again makes the first couple of guys miss, and then he gets planted at the 36-yard line. Good, strong running early in this game by Marcus. Micah Hauser, who's a two-way player, made the tackle for the Rocks. He was joined back there by Bryson Hoover. Now you're looking at 3rd and 5. Play action, quick slant and incomplete. Looking for the quick hitter on the slant to the left side of the formation for Ty Matthews, the junior wideout, but it was incomplete. And now we'll have a 4th and 5.
Does he throw this behind him? Let's take a second look here. Look, boy, coaches will tell you if you can touch it, you should catch it. That would be a tough one. Maybe he had to turn just enough where he just couldn't get enough reach on it.
Brownsburg already in this game has gone for it on 4th and 2. Now they're looking at 4th and 5. And Easters is on a sprint out. Right at the sticks, catch is made. That'll be a first down. A nice little out route over there by Ethan Harless, the senior wideout. First down, Bulldogs.
Now look at the precision in this route. You get 3 wide receivers. The 2 try to take the safeties deep, and then you go underneath. That's a nice play call.
Trevor Lickfield was in coverage for Westfield. 1st and 10 now at the 27. Back to the ground game. This time, however, it's the 3rd different running back to have carried the football. This is Brandon Burks. So Marcus, Jones, and now Burks have all carried the ball on this drive, but for Burks, it's a no gain.
Look at big Alan White, number 99, all 305 pounds. Staying put, staying low. That's a nice play. That time by Alan White, the senior.
2nd and 10. Easter's had trouble with the snap, but he has no trouble throwing to Preston Terrell, who will dive for the sticks, and he'll have enough for a first down. Terrell, who just a couple of weeks ago verbally committed to Purdue, has a first down reception. The ball is in the red zone. It'll be 1st and 10 for Brownsburg.
Well, you can see why Purdue is so high on him. You just love the confidence you see in a receiver when he catches the football, just the confidence. He's one of those special receivers.
Ball at the 16 of Westfield. Remember last weekend, Westfield jumped out to a 10-0 lead early in the first quarter, 4 minutes into the game, and never scored again. Here's Burks on a carry, bursting inside of the 10-yard line. He'll fall ahead to the 9. He won't have enough for a first down, but another strong run in between the tackles for the Bulldogs.
Boy, this is just power football, Rob. It's 5 offensive linemen just clearing it out. That's just great blocking up front.
2nd and short. Marcus is the running back. Terrell all alone at the top of your screen, split wide right. Marcus carries. Tries to bounce it outside. Not going to get anywhere, though. Really good job defensively. This time the Westfield defense was ready. Trevor Lickfield with an excellent tackle, pushing the running back backwards. It'll be 3rd and short.
Yeah, Lickfield does a great job of getting rid of his blocker and just standing him up. And in football, look for help, and he got it.
And they're going to quickly get to the line of scrimmage, snap it before the defense is ready, and quite frankly, before the broadcaster was ready. I had to quickly glance, and it was Ben Easters pushing the pile ahead for a first down on the quarterback sneak. It'll be 1st and goal.
Well, for the most part, they've been on a longer snap count, trying to catch Westfield really not being ready, and that's therefore the quick snap count.
Caught everyone in the building, including yours truly, off guard. 1st and goal from the 5-yard line for Brownsburg.
Boy, this has been an awful great drive. Over 6 minutes, Rob.
And now we'll have a penalty flag thrown. And an illegal motion against the offense, so that will back them up to the 10. Jason Ferguson, by the way, is our official tonight, wearing the white hat, the lead referee. Quite a story on Jason Ferguson. He's battled back from not 1 but 2 ACL surgeries in his officiating career. You see, it's not only the players that get injured.
No, it's not. And, boy, cross off to him. That's great. That just really shows his love and dedication to this sport.
Actually, both injuries did occur while he was officiating. Tore the ACL in both knees.
Wow.
How about that?
Yeah.
Easter's on 2nd and goal from the 10. Sprint out to the right. Lets it fly back of the end zone. Terrell jumps high. Did he catch it? Touchdown! Wow, what a catch! Terrell at 6'3" went high in the sky. Now the officials are discussing it. Hold on here.
Here's what I think I've seen happen. We'll see. The picture doesn't lie. Is he had it? He was inbounds, but he tossed it back up, and I think he might have been out of bounds.
And it is incomplete.
Yes,
Initially,
sir.
The signal was touchdown in the back of the end zone. The 3 officials quickly got together, discussed it, and it is incomplete. Let's take a look.
Yeah, let me explain this. Officiating is about position and angles. Now the official's looking at him. He's looking at his feet. Now immediately he's still watching the ball. Now this is a great piece of officiating. He called what he's seen. Now the other official there in your screen is going to come in and go, wait a minute, I seen him out of bounds, and you talk it over, they got it right. That is perfect officiating.
Brownsburg goes right back to the running game, gives it to Marcus. It looked to me that he did actually catch it after he bobbled it, but at that point he was lying out of bounds.
Exactly right, and that's where the other official came into play.
Good piece of team officiating there. And now you're looking at 3rd and goal from the 6 for Brownsburg. That was a heck of a throw by Easters, by the way. Too bad it didn't count. Now they're going for Terrell again. They loft it high in the sky, and this one is broken up by Dane Wheeler. Wheeler, who plays primarily as a slot receiver, gets an opportunity to play defensive back in passing situations, and he looks like a natural on this play.
Well, that's why he plays in special situations. So far, Rob, that may be the play of the game. That was a big-time play. You're going against one of the best receivers in all of high school right here, and he still about makes the catch, except for the fact, excellent defense.
Dane Wheeler, whose father Jeff was a defensive back in college at the University of Evansville. He looked like a guy who had a dad who's a DB. Nice play by Dane Wheeler. Field goal opportunity here of 23 yards. Attempted by Clay Chase. The kick is up. It is good.
It moves by Miles Cox, the kick returner, and made a few people miss on that. That was impressive. But it ultimately didn't get him a ton of yards, but it was an impressive run.
Wiseman's going to hand it off to Price on the outside, and he's got a little bit of room, cuts up field, and all of a sudden there's Royals there. Going to get a gain of about 2 or 3.
Yeah, Colin Price was trying to take the run outside, but really good job by Joel Cheche getting outside and force him to cut back to where all the rest of the Royals defense was, and only picks up a minimum gain. So good job by Joel Cheche.
Give it to Price again, and gets a couple yards It's going to create a 3rd and short for Zionsville. Hit the hole really quick there in that run.
Really, tonight's a battle of really good sophomore running backs. You have Blaine Wirtz for HSC and then Colin Price for Zionsville, both very talented. And you'd like to think if Blaine didn't get hurt, he'd probably have similar numbers to what Colin Price has. So a really good even matchup at running back tonight.
Wirtz is 260 and 2 touchdowns through 2 games. While we're talking about him and get a first down, Zionsville, so they'll move the chains.
Yeah, Zionsville pulled a guard and came around the edge and then just ran it right up the middle, and they had an extra blocker for the against Royals defense, and it picks up a first down. So well executed run play, and they keep the chains moving.
Wiseman's looking back to pass and some pressure there, and HSC, and he's getting sacked by Evan Lance. He's doing a little bit of a dance again.
Yeah, they called him down. It looks like the ball might have came loose at the very end, but really good job by Evan Lance. Just shedded the block and went right into Wiseman for the sack, and Wiseman just didn't have that much time, and he had a couple guys open downfield, but he just didn't even have time to look up and find an open receiver. So really good job by Evan Lance, and he continues his very good season.
We're going to have a whistle.
Timeout by Zionsville.
That timeout, 1 minute and 51 seconds left in the first quarter.
Simons to the left sideline, but incomplete, out of bounds. Looking for their leading receiver, Mason Peening, but he got bounced out of bounds over there. Great coverage by Isaiah Higgins. The catch was made, but out of bounds, and that'll bring on the punt team.
Well, it's a shame from the perspective of this is just a phenomenal catch. He just ran out of real estate. The pass was just perfect, just not enough real estate to bring it in.
That'll bring on the punter, Bryson Hoover. 34 yards of punt on the season for Hoover. Both he and Simons actually split time as the punter. We saw Simons doing a lot of the punting last Friday night. And this one is blocked.
Oh, yeah.
It is blocked, and it's going to be a touchdown. Wow, a special teams touchdown for the Brownsburg Bulldogs.
Rob, you could just see this coming. This just took way too long.
Isaiah Street with a scoop and score. Touchdown Bulldogs. I think it was Schubert that blocked the punt. It was number 44, Cade Schubert, who, remember, we did not see him 2 weeks ago. He was out with injury. Well, welcome back, Cade Schubert, a block punt.
And he was not touched from the time the ball was snapped. He went through 2 layers. He went through the offensive line. He went through the secondary blockers, and nobody picked him up. He came straight through untouched.
Street, the sophomore, with a touchdown to make it 9-0 Brownsburg. Clay Chase is going to attempt the extra point. It is up. It is good. And just like that, 10-0, the lead in favor of.
Some pressure, but he gets it away, and it's going to be incomplete.
And good. No flag, which is
good defense, Micah Phillips. Zionsville's crowd does not agree, but
I tell you what, that's a tough call, because it did look like it was all over him before the ball got there. But we'll take it. We'll take the punt, and good defense to stand by the Royals.
On another high short punt.
That was a rough punt.
It's nothing but not favorable punts for Zionsville, but HSC is going to have good field position once again. Taking it about the 50-yard line, so going 50 yards to score.
Yeah, that was only about a 10, 11-yard punt, so that really, almost about 10, That is not ideal. If you're Zionsville, only a 10-yard punt, you might as well go for it at that point. But Royals will take it on the 50 and have really good field position to start off the third drive.
To Blaine Wirtz, he's going to run through some tackles and ultimately gets about 6 yards. Another good run.
Yeah, one thing Blaine Wirtz is really good at is finding the hole. And there was just a small hole for him to get through, but he found it quick, and he got through it and picked up some yards and got to the second level. So his vision is really good for a sophomore. Usually you don't see that until junior, senior year, but he's doing it as a sophomore, so really good job by Blaine.
And drop back to pass and rolling out left, and it looks like he's about to keep it. Just runs out of bounds and avoids a hit. So it's going to be a 3rd and 5. 3rd and 4, excuse me.
And this is an area where Coach Morris might think about going for it if the Royals don't get it here.
Be the jet sweep to Ben Boysen. He's got a lot of room on the outside, and it's tackled, but it is enough for the first down. So Coach Morris isn't going to have to make that decision yet.
It was a really good blocking by the Royals offensive line, and then Nate Wolf, the H-back, setting the edge, allowed Ben get around the corner, and then also good block.
Take the pitch and also just make sure that he's in a position to make sure Geloff.
Extra effort defensively was the difference from him stopping of getting that first down or him getting it.
3rd and short for the Rocks. Simon's a threat to run. He does have 235 rushing yards this year. They're going to go option. They pitch it. Hauser does have the first down and then more. Racing down the sideline, finally pushed down out of bounds by Jacoby McGowan. They go option left on 3rd and short and pick up the first down.
Well, everybody on the Westfield line, or on the Westfield side, I should say, just took a big breath because that was well executed, and these chains are moving, and they're near midfield now. That was a huge play.
And it keeps the drive alive, something Westfield desperately needed. After their early 3 and out, Hauser gets bounced into right at the line of scrimmage, spins off of the would-be tackle, but falls back to only the original line of scrimmage, making it 2nd and 10 as we're under 2 minutes to play. First quarter, 10-0. Brownsburg leading Westfield in a huge matchup in the Hoosier Crossroads Conference. Play clock is already down to 10 seconds, and Westfield still trying to get the play in from the sideline. Now that play clock's at 5 seconds. They're going to have to hurry here. Play action for Simons. He wants to go deep down the left sideline. He's got a receiver, but he overthrew Peening. Peening had a step on the defensive back, but the ball is overthrown. Incomplete.
Yes, sir, he did, Rob. Well called. Nice hesitation. He got the defender to bite on it. And that's there. That ball needs to be there. He makes a great move to get the defender. The receiver coaches will call it get separation. Get separation. And he did exactly that. And the ball was just overthrown.
3rd and 10 for Westfield. Homecoming Friday night in Westfield on this final Friday night in September. They're going to go to the throwback, and it was played perfectly by the defense. Brownsburg had that play scouted from the word go. The credit will go to Cameron Keys.
The Royals have established the run game early. They're doing a really good job blocking up front, and the running backs are picking the right hole and are going. They're not juking and jiving in the backfield. And this is going to open up the play action game. This is going to open up their passing game. So if the Royals continue to run the ball like this, their offense is going to become even more potent with all the wide receivers the Royals have.
Put Ben Boysen in motion, but they're going to give it to Jace Alexander up the middle, who's got some tough running, and it's going to be enough for the first down. So the Royals are entered the red zone and a first down about the 18-yard line.
That's be huge to to get another touchdown, go up 14, and get back-to-back scoring drives would be huge for the Royals. But they are almost, if it comes down to it, probably close to Drolis' range for field goal. But like I said, the special teams that sometimes have been questionable, so what price if it's 4-down territory this close to the end zone, depending on the down and distance.
Give it to Blaine. He's got some room out the right side. And he's got a blocker, and he's going to be tackled into the yard marker. With another good run for the Royals, and Zionsville's defense is just not ready for this running attack.
Well, I tell you what, that was actually really good penetration by the Zionsville defensive line. They got through up the middle, but Blaine just went to the outside, and there's no one there for him to get him, I should say, and Blaine picks up 9 yards. So talk about his vision. That was a good example of how good his vision is, because there's nothing in the middle, bounce it outside, pick up 9 yards. So really good job by Blaine Wirtz. It looks like we have another timeout.
Zionsville's going to talk it over. Got a 2nd and 1 from the 10-yard line.
Yeah, Coach Scott Turnquist wants to talk it over, try to get his defense to get a stop and not allow the Royals to go up 2 scores. But the way it's looking, the Royals got to be feeling pretty good with this start, and Coach Morris has got to be happy.
HSC coming back out onto the field. We're going to pick up the 2nd and 1. And the way this game is going, I'd be willing to bet money this is going to Blaine, but who knows?
Also do a play action or jet sweep.
Nope, here you go. Comeback route to DeAndre, and it's open, and that's a touchdown for the Royals. That is going to put them up 14-0, or 13, excuse me, pending the extra point, but another good play. That comeback route always seems to be always open, so good play call there with the Royals, and 13-0.
Yeah, it was good execution. They've kind of set him up a couple times on that jet sweep to Boysen, where they run that, or they fake it and then run it up the middle with Blaine. They faked both, and then Hobson just rolled out and found DeAndre on a comeback route wide open in the end zone. So good execution by the Royals, good play calling by Coach Whites.
Drolis' kick is good, so it is going to be 14-0. 10 minutes and 23 seconds left in the second quarter, and the Royals have just looked outstanding so far.
Well, if you're Zionsville on homecoming night, this is not the ideal start. The crowd is not into it right now, being down 2 scores. So
that's what we said last week, though, so you never know.
That's true, but they're going to want to. They need a big play, something to get this crowd cheering, get some emotion back into it, and try to get back into this game. But Royals continue to do what they're doing on offense and just play well like they have pretty much all season on defense. They'll win this game, and they'll win it big if they continue to play well.
I think Westfield's going to have to. Padgett was able to get some nice pressure on him, and he was able to spin, but you're never going to have great accuracy when you have the type of pressure that Westfield was able to put on Brownsburg that time.
3rd and 9. Play clock is down to 3 seconds. Easter's going to have to hurry. He gets the snap off. Here comes the blitz. Easter's throws to the right, and that ball is almost intercepted. Yeah, off of the fingertips. And almost a pick for Westfield's number 34. That is Carson Voris.
Voris, he can't believe he couldn't bring this one in. He read it perfectly. Now all you got to do is bring it in, and Josh wasn't able to pull it in, but great coverage on his part. Boy, that might have been a pick 6, Rob. I think he was gone maybe if he catches that.
Voris has a fumble recovery and a forced fumble this year. He does not have an interception. He almost had one there. Hauser awaits deep. He'll field this punt on the run. Looking for some running room, and he'll be dumped just shy of the 40-yard line.
You know, Voris doesn't make that interception, but you know the big news for Westfield's defense, Rob, is 3 and out.
Right.
And that, to me, is just super huge. The last thing they could ill afford was allow Brown to put a huge drive together or give up a big play and get 3 scores ahead. That was huge by this young Westfield defense.
Simons bringing him off the sideline. Patchett will be the running back here. Great story, by the way. Hopefully you saw it this week in the Indy Star on Eli Patchett, done by Kyle Nedenrip, the very talented writer for the Indy Star, about how Patchett is a basketball, baseball, and football standout. 3-sport standout. You don't see those many of those guys anymore. This end on cue, Patchett with a run around right end. He'll get bumped out of bounds by Anthony Lawrence of Brownsburg, number 19.
And I realize that can't happen a lot anymore, but I respect that. You know, we always say, well, back in the day we all did that. Well, that was back then. And it's a little more difficult now. The demands are certainly greater. But I respect so much those athletes who are willing to play multiple sports. I just really like that.
2nd and 6 after the 4-yard run by Patchett. They'll keep it on the ground, give it to him again, and he'll be 1 yard shy of the first down. Got grabbed by the ankles at the last second, and it'll be 3rd and 1.
Shepard Cade right here, number 44. Honestly, he says what probably would have been a big game that time by Westfield, but he's able to bring an arm tackle.
3rd and 1. And penalty flag thrown, and this one is going to go against the offense. So that is a killer if you're Westfield.
Oh, man, that is.
You were looking at 3rd and 1. Now you're going to go 3rd and 6.
And that's as untimely as it can get. What would have probably been a for sure running play, now you may have to kind of reconsider a little bit. 3rd and almost 7, Rob. What do you do here?
They're going to substitute some personnel. Reed Sheppers, number 80, comes into the game. 3 receivers to the bottom of your screen here on 3rd and 6. Simons wants to throw. Now double clutches. Now is running from some trouble and will just throw it out of bounds. The pressure was, oh no, that ball, I beg your pardon, is caught.
No.
I thought he was throwing the ball out of bounds down the right sideline. I couldn't have been more incorrect. It was Mason Peening on the catch.
Well, Peening does the right thing here. He sees his quarterback's in trouble, so he breaks off the route and comes back and gets the football. Take a look. The quarterback gets pressure, rolls in trouble. This is a great effort by the quarterback, and he comes back and gets that football. That's exactly what you're taught to do.
It was Dane Middlebrook who was giving the pressure, the 2-lane commit that forced the quarterback out of the pocket. He threw the perfect pass to Simons. Peening holds on. A huge 3rd down conversion. And now on the first play, as they raced back to the line of scrimmage, a run that goes for negative yardage here for Westfield.
Yeah, Westfield's struggling to run the football. They get a play in here or there, but as a whole, they're not running it near as efficiently as they think they need to tonight. They don't want to go just all pass here this early.
They do run it for 200 yards a game, Westfield. Quarterback run. Speaking of runs,
there you go.
Simons is into the red zone, and that's a first down gain.
Well, that all starts with a block. Take a look at this blocking. Center, guard. Part the C's, my friends. And if you do that and do it consistently, they will run the ball efficiently. I'm not saying they can't, and they have, but in this game they've been a little bit inconsistent running the football. That's huge, getting the running game going again.
1st and 10 from the 13. Play action. Throwing on the run. Catch is made. That is Sheppers who gets inside of the 10. Catch of the season for Reed Sheppers.
Well, that was a great job of faking. He had everybody guessing a little bit. You see, looking at everybody from Brownsburg recovering, going back to the backside. He sold that really well with the fakes.
C.J. Tanner and Schubert over there to make the tackle. But now you're looking at 2nd and 5. Camden Simons seems to have found a little bit of a rhythm now. 3 minutes into this second quarter. Simons will keep. and he'll be tackled immediately. Schubert again blows that play up, coming from the middle linebacker position, and holds the gain to minimal, maybe even a loss of a yard.
Well, you've called Schubert's name at least 3 or 4 times now. He's one of those young men that just is always around the football.
And remember, we did not see him at Avon a couple of weeks ago because of injury.
And that was big, too.
He's an all-conference player.
He's an all-conference player, right, and that was huge not to have him.
3rd and 6. Play clock is at 2. Simon's going to have to hurry. Play clock now at 0, and they're not going to get it off unless they called timeout in time. This is going to be, let's see how this is ruled. Jake Gilbert, the head coach, was calling for time, running down the sideline.
Did they give it to him?
But the back judge was throwing the flag at the same time, and it will not be a timeout. It will be a 5-yard penalty for delay of game.
And the coaching staff for Westfield's going out of their mind, and rightfully so, because this is just a major, major penalty. Timeliness is even worse.
Coach Gilbert was trying to get down the sideline to get the attention of the official, but not in time. So now you're at 3rd and 11. The ball will have to get inside of the 3-yard line for a first down. Simons to throw, and catch is made. That is Wheeler, but he is quickly gobbled up. The defense was all
20-0 with 6:46 left in the second quarter. And if you're Coach Morris, you've got to be ecstatic right now.
You got to be feeling really good. And like I said, when you can run the ball, it opens up the rest of your offense. It opens up the play-action game. And right now they have Zionsville on their toes. They've been out there most of the half. They're tired. And HSC's running on them, and then they do a play-action, and guys are just running wide open. And another example there with Tony Myers on the comeback. And comeback routes have been successful so far for HSC.
Is this 16 or 14?
It's 16.
And it is no good. So I will make an apology to the Beltran family because that was Sean Sullivan, 16, not 14.
I still like the name.
That missed the field goal wide left. Beltran, you're off the hook. The problem is Westfield still is scoreless.
That's tough. That's tough. Boy, Westfield just needed to get something going. Anything, a field goal, get some spark going.
Well, there's a big penalty there, by the way. They were at 2nd and 6. And had to take the penalty that dropped them.
That was huge.
They ended up 3rd and 11 when it was all said and done.
You know, sometimes it's not so much the yardage of the penalty, but the timeliness of it couldn't have been worse.
Easters will hand the ball off to Donovan Marcus, who is still on his feet and carrying some green-shirted rocks with him, and they still haven't blown the play dead. Now they do at the 37-yard line. What a run by Marcus.
Boy, you talking about refusing to go down here. That's just keeping the old legs pumping and going.
And Brownsburg hurries to the line of scrimmage. They don't want Westfield to get set. They'll hand it to Marcus, but this time the defense was quickly there. Seth Pariah, number 95 for Westfield, made the tackle after a short gain.
Well, you can see why Brownsburg has really turned this running game up a notch. The big guys up front are coming off the football. Those running backs refuse to go.
Back to back, you see big runs picked up in a first down against this defense.
And yeah, the defense giving up the first down right there. Like I said in the pregame, though, you're going to see a lot of Nick Demas, as you see maybe a lot of Sutton is going to be one of those guys and Hitchcock as well. They're going to be one of those guys that they try to contain, and so I think Demas might have a big game here at linebacker.
They spread it out. They do go with a little bit of a spread look, but they do run it up the middle a lot with Taylor's going to be the run to set up the pass, as we see on both sides. A big first down here at the 36-yard line. Fantastic field position, and Taylor gets the handoff again, spun around from behind, but still, really big chunk picked up on first down.
I like the choice in the formation there, Brent. It's just they started looking like they're a run-heavy team, and so when you start seeing guys spread out a little bit, that tends to make you think, okay, they may start passing. But you just give it to Taylor, your trusty guy, and he picks up an easy 5 yards.
Yet to call out the name of big-time wide receiver Andrew Sawinski. As we've mentioned, he's well over 1,000 yards on his career. He does have 22 receptions, 353 yards, and 9 touchdowns. 9 of the 12 touchdowns that Cheek has thrown. So a big-time receiver on the outside, and this one is thrown. It's going to be instead to Jack Ane. the 6'1" sophomore picks up the first down.
He's one of those young guys that is a good alternative for Cheek to have whenever guys like Sawinski and even Taylor are covered. I mean, he has 22 receptions so far this year. Actually has 11 receptions, make it 12 receptions now for several yards. And so he's just one of those guys that he's another utility player that you can rely on if you're Cheek.
A big first down already inside of the red zone for the first time on either side with 8:35 and the clock ticking here in the first quarter. It's been a good drive with great field position to begin the drive, and now it's going to be a handoff to Taylor on the right side. Lowers the shoulder and picks up extra yardage. And again, like we've mentioned on numerous carries by him, falls forward and picks up extra yardage.
Same old MO. You know, this is a very Chittard-like drive right here. This is exactly what you expect. You know, they're going to run the ball more than they pass. But a lot of what they're doing here tonight so far is they're actually hitting the weak side of the line. They're kind of spreading Guerin out a little bit, drawing them to the strong side of the line, and then that's opening up a little bit there for Taylor on the weak side.
Yeah, we saw a big run off the left side on that previous set of downs, and a big run on the right side behind both of those tackles. Fantastic carries, and they're all the way down to the 11-yard line. Second down, and Taylor gets it this time right out the gut, spins and weaves his way to another first down. Getting a little bit ahead of myself there, and it's going to set him up first down and goal.
So you got first and goal here. But one thing I like about Taylor is the fact that he's one of those backs that his feet never stop moving. Right there was an excellent example of it. He just pounds it right up the A gap, and his feet just keep going until he's literally on 180 degrees on the ground. I like that.
I want to imagine it's going to be a more heavy dose of Taylor here at the 6-yard line, now lined up on the left side of Cheek. And a quick pass actually to the right, and it's going to be caught for the touchdown. And that is pitch, and that is catch, and that is Andrew Sawinski with the score.
Sawinski, you know, he caught him sleeping a little bit there. They were expecting it to go to Taylor since that's what you had that entirety of the drive, and that's the one threat that Sawinski poses for you. It's just like he's one of those guys that can just sit and wait, and then you forget about him, and then that happens. Touchdown for Chittard.
Looked like it's almost as if they lulled the defensive backs asleep with run, one pass, and then a big-time touchdown pass. And as you mentioned, that's Kyle Cheek to Sawinski. Cheek, his 13th touchdown. Sawinski now with his 10th touchdown in double digits out there for the extra point. Holds great kick is good.
With 3:51 to play in the first half. And luckily the player that was slow to get up is walking to the sideline under his own power. That is good news for Owen Ogle, the senior D lineman. So here we go, 3:45 and counting. A 3rd and 6 for Brownsburg. Marcus back into the game as the tailback. Easters will give it to him, but he's not going to have nearly enough yardage here. David Fry came closing in from the DB position to wrap up the ankles from behind. Now you're looking at 4th and 5, and here comes the field goal kicker, Clay Chase for Brownsburg. My goodness, I almost called him Chevy Chase. Now that would have been embarrassing.
That's a good football name, too.
This is Clay Chase, not Chevy Chase. Out of the hold of Ethan Harless, and hold everything. A timeout has been called. Timeout on the field. Westfield takes a timeout with 3:12 to play in the first half.
That puts the Orioles in their own territory, which is extremely fortunate for the Tigers, or else they'd have a real problem with the Orioles essentially already being in field goal position without that bounce.
Yeah, Avon scored last possession with a great 40-yard play from the running back. Let's see if Fishers can hold him and get a stop of this possession.
6:13 left in the second quarter as the Orioles line up in the shotgun on 1st and 10. Henry Hessen gets a snap, hands it off, goes left. A nice stop there by the Tigers. Their front seven has just been playing absolutely incredible this game. A huge part of why they have this lead. 55 Billy Ryder on the tackle.
No matter here, that's a moot point.
Yeah, that's
because
a moot point.
They've sent the
offense.
offense.
I'm going to save that for next time we're going to kick a field goal and call timeout. They
Offense
decided not to do that.
4th and 5, and they're back on the field. Easter's sprinting right. Throwing for the end zone, incomplete, and the calculated risk by the Brownsburg offense is a bad one. Defending Dane Wheeler for the Westfield Shamrocks, and the fourth down fails, so Brownsburg comes away with no points.
Yeah, you can think the pressure by Westfield from that backside made all the difference in the world. Ian Watson really got to him first. Interesting call by Brownsburg. With that 10-0 lead, I guess they felt comfortable about taking what they felt like a minimum risk. I've just always kind of lean on never leave points on the field, but
well, and when you look, Chase is 3 for 4 field goals this year, and that would have been a chip shot.
Yeah, just interesting call. Coaches do things for their reasons.
So Simons with the football, tried to go quarterback keep to the left side of the formation, but Schubert was quickly over there to knock him out of bounds. That might even be a loss of a yard. It's worth noting Westfield does get the ball to start the second half.
That's a big break for Westfield, really it is. They'd still like to do something here with 2:48 left in the half.
It was roughly a loss of about half a yard. We'll still call it 2nd and 10, though, as we're under 3 minutes to go in this first half. Jack Pfeiffer has entered the game as a running back for Westfield. They're going to give it to him, and he has nowhere to run. Tough sledding in between the tackles here for Westfield. Tackle made up front. At least a strong push was made up front by Monty Jackson, the junior.
Because they actually had that play call right there to Ferrucci. It was just a good jet sweep. You just want to keep the momentum going. You don't want to try and get anything big. You just want to make sure you're getting in a good rhythm, and so far they're doing that.
Shotgun formation this time for Geloff. Takes the snap, and it will be a fake and a keep off to the right side, a little bit of an option keeper. You do see Geloff run with the ball, 237 yards rushing on that play, was taken down on the season. On that play was taken down for only about a gain of 1.
And you're just going to see a lot of that as well, although I wasn't a fan of that tackle right there. If you're Coach Dilly, you want to make sure that your quarterback stays healthy, a good knee tackle. But that's one thing that you got to like about Geloff is the fact that he's actually one of those guys that can be tough. He is both mentally and physically tough, and that's actually it's a rare trait to have in a quarterback, especially one of his caliber.
2nd down and 9 after the 1-yard quarterback keeper. Shotgun again with Baumgartner. 2 receivers near us, one on the far side. It's going to be a pass all the way. Geloff, high pressure again. He will throw it last second into completion to the hands of his trusty target, Bernie McGinnis. So we mentioned solidity on the opening drive for Chittard. Now we mentioned for the Gary Catholic Golden Eagles, Bernie McGinnis.
Well, and the difference, and one of the big differences there, though, is the fact that McGinnis saw that his quarterback was in trouble, and not only is Geloff able to pull a Ben Roethlisberger and actually kind of extend the play a little bit, McGinnis had that presence of mind to come back to his quarterback and get that play.
Baumgartner now up the middle, gets tripped up a bit in the backfield, but does a little bit like a Dangling Taylor, a fall forward for a gain of about 3. So the movement is going the right way for Guerin. It would have been tough with another 3 and out, but they have strung together some good plays.
It's all about rhythm.
Big 2nd down here. Try and keep the drive moving. It will be a passing play. Good protection this time. Geloff rolls right again. And a big juke back. He's going to pick up some yardage all the way inside of Trojan territory, all the way down to about, it's going to leave 3rd and 1. They're going to say just short again of the first down.
Excellent blocking on this drive by the O-line. You didn't see that in that first drive, which was what allowed Chittard to be so disruptive in the backfield. But now now that the O-line is tightened back up a little bit, you're actually seeing what this offense is able to do.
Big 3rd down play in the shotgun. Geloff will just turn and hand it off to Baumgartner. He gets stood up, might have gotten enough with the forward momentum. He is going to get enough. So moving the chains again. Now they are getting it in the right way as far as the 41. It's going to be 1st down and 10.
Well, a lot of it's the play calling here, and the play calling is excellent here because they're calling for that momentum, and so you don't want to disrupt that by doing anything too risky.
Big 1st down pass over the middle, a little bit too high. Intended for his tight end, Max McGreal. Had the right idea, but kind of throwing into a lot of coverage as well.
Well, that was a little bit of a...
Hobson got Zionsville to jump.
Move it up a couple yards.
Half the distance to the goal.
Ooh. Let's see here. One ref pointing towards HSC. Oh, no, he's going to call offside, so Royals will take it, move it up a couple yards. And for Zionsville, this is obviously being down 21-0. You try to not allow as many points here, and to hold them to a field goal would keep them at 3 scores. So this is big for them, an opportunity to try to gain any momentum going into half after a really well executed first half by the Royals. And it looks like we got a timeout by Coach Morris. So
Gelov, he's looking left in a big blitz on, dumps it down to Bumgardner. Bumgardner nowhere to go, and now a big decision is going to come up with a 4th down. We might get a little bit of a field position chance. That looks like they are going to bring out the punt unit. So a good drive gets stopped on 3rd down, bring up a 4th down and 10, and a chance to pin the Trojans deep.
Well, punting's the right decision here if you're Coach Dilly. It's just one of the you had some good momentum there, and it just kind of stalled out. But now you have the chance to pin Shatar deep and make them really work for it, because keep in mind they got that touchdown from inside the Garin Catholic side of the football field on that last drive. So I like this decision.
Hawkinson gets a boot into it, and then the back deep to return is Sowinski. Calls a fair catch, and they did pin him inside of the 20-yard line at about the 15 to be 1st down and 10 for Chatard. And in that last drive, Kurt, we saw a lot of Dalen Taylor, and then we saw the cherry on top was Cheek to Sowinski.
Yeah, and, Sowinski's going to be one of those guys that is probably going to be – I anticipate to see a little bit more of a role from him in this particular drive. But at the same time, you keep going to Taylor, because Taylor's your guy that you just keep going to just kind of ground and pound, make sure you're hammering away at that yardage, and then you hit Sowinski at the right.
Royals, that'll bring it to 27-0 with just about 37 seconds left in the 2nd quarter, and HSC is putting on a dominant performance so far.
Yeah, a really good run by Chase Alexander, and Royals will take it. They took a lot of clock off on that drive, and so Zionsville's not going to have very much of an opportunity to get points before the half, and so really well executed. And if Drillis can make the extra point, go up 28-0 heading in.
With one play. Let's take a look. He has plenty of time to throw, and this is just a great defensive play. Ball's a little late getting there, and that's secondary for Brownsburg. Ran it absolutely perfectly. Got a nice cut on the football, Rob, and boy, just like that, with only 14 seconds left, Brownsburg has a great opportunity to really add to this lead.
First interception of the season for the senior Higgins, and Brownsburg will have a chance to score again before halftime. Easter's the quarterback from the shotgun here. Brownsburg has all 3 of its timeouts remaining. Easter's to throw. Catch is made. Touchdown, Brownsburg. A one-play drive capped off by the touchdown throw to Ethan Harless. And Brownsburg takes that turnover and turns it into points.
Well, that's the mark of a great team. When you can make the other team pay, not only with the turnover, but then you turn it into points. And, boy, that's just timing patterned to perfection there.
Harless scores. It's now 16-0. And my, how quickly this game changed.
Just like that, isn't it?
Westfield driving. You thought maybe they'd at least come away with a field goal before the half was over. Instead, it was the Isaiah Higgins interception. Then the Ethan.
You're able to sell that fake. Every extra second that you get of that hesitation can be key.
Looks like it'll be a shotgun formation again. On the right side is Dalen Taylor. Taylor has a couple of big carries on this one, but big pressure being put on. Wide behind the defense was Andrew Sowinski. Cheek put it about 3 yards too long. That would have been a catch and a waltz into the end zone.
And he just a little bit more of a loft on that play right there. It was just a little bit too long and couldn't get it down. But still, it was a great awareness to roll out there, but also good pressure that time by the Guerin Catholic defense, and that's kind of what you want to start ramping up a little here a little bit.
2nd down and 10, 43-yard line to be official. Man right to left is the tight end. Now it'll be a handoff to Taylor off the left side, and he cuts back, and a big cutback it is, all the way down after a huge gain of about 7. Going to bring up a 3rd down and reasonable. Gosh, he's got some bursts out of the backfield.
Well, yeah, and we keep saying it over and over again. That's just what you see out of him. And when blocking fails you, that's when athleticism kicks in, and you can see that athleticism right there. He was able to juke off one of the tacklers and gain just a few extra yards.
It's a big 3rd down and 3. A chance for Guerin to get off the field and give the offense the ball back. Clock is ticking down in the first quarter, about minute 40 left.
If you're Guerin here, you bring the house.
3rd down. Under center this time, and Cheek turns and hands it off and up easily for the 1st down. Was untouched until he got across the yard to gain, and it's going to be enough for the first, moving the chains inside of the 40.
Well, Guerin brought the house there. The problem was the snap count. It left them a little bit on their heels, and they just kind of were a little late, and they didn't get a good jump on the ball, and that allowed Guerin to just get enough protection and just get a few yards for that first.
It was Darian Gilbert again. As Gilbert's in the game, near side, they do go with the 2 big wide receivers, and Andrew Sawinski and Thomas Coleman. See what happens on 1st down with the clock still ticking here in the first. 7-0 is the score off of that easy touchdown catch, 6 yards, and this time they go back through the air and a huge pressure put on, and they're going to take him down for the sack. We'll see who comes up with it. It looks like that was Jagger Albert, who came through on the blitz to get his 2nd sack of the year.
Man, Guerin is lucky that they were able to get in there and get that pressure, because Sawinski was one-on-one going towards the end zone. That is exactly who they were looking for right there. So, and that's just good execution by the Guerin defense, because otherwise they were about to get burned.
A little bit of a put him in the slot and just have him cross across the middle. But a big-time sack coming through by Jagger Albert, the 5', 985-pound junior. As we mentioned, his 2nd sack of the year. Also has an interception and a fumble recovery. Do it all on the defense. Now Taylor's back into the ball game. Gets through an arm tackle and back to the original line of scrimmage. So it's going to bring up another big 3rd down.
So now if you're Guerin, this is where you make a big stop right here, because they're just on the border of field goal range here. So you want to try and get as much pressure in that backfield as you can. And hopefully if you bring the house again like you did on that first 3rd down, this time you better get a better jump on it.
And we're going to be able to see this big 3rd down in the 2nd quarter. Yet again, after 1 here from Guerin Catholic High School, it is the Chatard Trojans 7 and Guerin nothing.
Time for 1, maybe 2.
No greater anti-poverty measure than to give a person a job. That helps them start to change that trajectory.
28, no reason to have a turnover or anything like that, or risk injury. Probably take a knee, head into the half, feeling really, really good about yourself. After the Royals didn't score in the first drive, but after that had 4 straight scoring possessions, all touchdowns, and the Royals defense didn't let up much of anything. So great half for the Royals, and they're going to take a knee and head into the half. So what a performance, and just a dominant start to this game for the Royals. But if you're Coach Morris, the message has to be, don't let off the gas.
Out for that deep threat. Henry Hessen hands the ball off. He gets out of the backfield. Big gain, 1st down, Orioles. 32.6 seconds left to go. Avon looking like they're going to try and clock it and get, clock moving again. We'll have to see if they're able to score before the clock runs out. They still have 2 timeouts left. Henry Hessen hands the ball off once again. Breaks a tackle. Gain of about 3 or 4. Good stop by the Tigers there. Timeout called, 17.4 seconds left. I don't think the Orioles...
That's a touchdown pass on the day. In the backfield joining him is big-time running back Dalen Taylor. 2 receivers on both sides.
Watch the blitz. Here it comes.
Over the left side, and it's going to be dropped incomplete. And a huge stop by the defense of Guerin. We'll see if Chatard tries to roll the dice It's one of those interesting field position spots.
They'll probably try and go for it here because they're just on the verge of field goal range while they're also too deep to punt the ball really for it to be effective. But still, I like the usage of the blitz on that last play there by the Guerin defense. They brought the blitz from Sawinski's side of the football field to try and force Cheek to put it to the other side, and that's exactly what they did with a quick out route, and his receiver wasn't ready. That was great execution on defense.
So here it is, 4th down and 11. Going to restart the play clock. 4th down and 11 officially. 2 receivers on the far side. 2 receivers on both sides. In the backfield is going to be Taylor. Cheek out of the shotgun. Takes a snap, and the pressure is coming from Guerin. Avoiding it off to the right side. Cuts back, and a lot of players joining in the backfield. Swung around and taken down for a huge loss. And Guerin Catholic gets the hold, and the player that you've mentioned numerous times, Nick Demas.
I told you, Nick Demas, he was going to be one of those guys that Chittard was going to discount because they have so much other talent on defense elsewhere, and you take advantage of that right there. What a play on defense, but not just on Demas's part. What about that coverage downfield? Cheek didn't have anybody to throw to. They had 2 guys on Sawinski while also being able to get that blitz inside. That was amazing execution, and now you take that momentum on offense and you try and march it down the field here if you're Guerin.
Now up, 1st down and 10. Under center again. Taking the snap, turns and hands it off. And Bumgarner falls forward. It's going to be a gain up to the, looks like right at the 49-yard line, so a good gain on 1st down.
Just keep grounded and pounding it right here. You just want to try and notch it up, get that rhythm back. You had some good rhythm on that second drive that you had earlier in the first quarter, but it just kind of fizzled out. You want to try to avoid that and make sure that you keep that execution at the right pace here.
So it's going to be 2nd down and 6. And a huge stop by Guerin Catholic gives them the momentum. And the shotgun again. Momentum so big in high school football. It's going to be a fake to Ferrucci and a big-time blitz coming on in response by the Chittard defense this time. Busting through the line, and Wyatt Schrader.
Wyatt Schrader.
Big-time middle linebacker with the sack.
And he's one of those guys that's just able to have that big boom factor. You don't hear a lot about there being a boom factor on defense because normally you see that on offense. But that was a key example of it right there. He's one of those guys that just kind of lurks. He actually had the spy a little bit, and then he saw his opening through that A-gap, busted through the middle, and was able to disrupt and get that shoestring tackle there on Gelov.
So it's a 3rd down and long. 18. 2 receivers on the far side, 1 near us. And the shotgun snap, Gelov throwing the hole, and he airs this one deep, has his man for a second, and the defense came. They're going to say that it was in time. Was one of those close 50-50 ones with the pass interference. No call, though, so it will be a big hold by Chittard after the big-time play defensively by Guerin.
And that's a good no call if you're the officials there. I mean, the ball was a little high for one, but they were both making a play for the ball there. It could have gone either way, but I think that's a good no call. But as you said there, Brent, a big stop there by Chittard to make sure that they could curb that momentum because Guerin, they were really fired up on offense, and they were able to get a big stop.
Big 4th down. Punt now. See if Sawinski is the trusty wide receiver, also as a punt returner, as you mentioned. Lines the ball over the field, and a big block was put on. And that, even if they don't get to Hawkinson on the punt, they frustrate him. They fluster him. Another short punt with good field position coming up now for Chittard.
And that's just good special teams execution there if you're Bishop Chittard. And like I said, you get in there and you disrupt, and that's exactly what you look for.
Let's go ahead and send it down to Coach Myers. He's going to talk about some things we have coming up on the Family Networks.
Hey, volleyball this Monday. It is for the conference championship. Roncalli Heritage Christian on the webcast. 6:30 start right here on Indiana SRN. Big conference championship game for volleyball. Back up, guys.
Thank you very much, Coach. Huge volleyball here on Indiana Sports Radio Network. Make sure you tune into that one. As Cheek, it was a tight end dump pass that just was incomplete, falls incomplete, as it was one of those tough passes. Logan O'Brien, the intended receiver, on the play. Interesting to see them go to the pass there with the play action with Dalen Taylor on the backfield.
Well, Coach Doyle knows that they're expecting to run a little bit, and so they're diversifying a little bit. But keep in mind here, Garin Catholic is really ramping up the pressure on defense. They're disrupting in the backfield. That's one of the keys that I had at the start of the game.
It'll be a big 2nd down and 10 after the incompletion. 10 minutes left here in this opening half. It's been a good first half, and Taylor gets the carry, and the defense is really taking it up another notch after that huge stop on 4th down, as Taylor, nowhere to run there, does pick up 2.
Well, another thing I'm seeing them doing here is they're keeping everybody in front of them. They're not moving north-south as much. They're actually moving more east-west. If you can keep guys in front of you, yeah, they may chip away a few yards here and there, and you give that up, but a few yards is a lot better than a lot of yards.
3rd down and 7, shotgun passing situation. 2 tight ends now in the ball game. And the snap is high and a flag is thrown. The first flag of the night. It's going to be a false start, moving the Trojans back 5 yards. 3rd down and 12. Pretty clean game.
Yeah, it's in contrast to what you see from last year, where, you know, and we talked about in the pregame there, Brent, how the officials last year, they got involved in the game, and it was just not a good a night for the officials. Much better tonight, you know. But a good example of that was that PI call that was a no call. It could have gone either way, and they did a good job letting that go. That's the first penalty that we've had tonight, Brent.
3rd down and 12. Moving back 5 after the false start. Looked like that was going to be a rollout to the right. We'll see if they do the same thing here, and it will be. Looking to throw back, and they will. Ane catches it, and a boom stick is put on.
Great awareness by the Garin defense. They check down. He's looking to check down to his receiver there, and
Jack Ane.
That was Jack. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Jack Ane there, and you know, he was one of those guys that was kind of a lingering factor earlier in the game, and they look to check down there, but they don't forget. It seems, and that's one thing I'm seeing Garin do. They're learning. They're making adjustments tonight, which is exactly what you want to see on defense.
Patrick Hagel with the quick hit stick. The right trigger, the boom, quick hit stick. I like it. High punt this time. Back deep to return is Bernie McGinnis. McGinnis spins out of 1 tackle and will settle at about the 36-yard line, 1st down and 10. So after the big drive by Chittard, it's been big-time defense on both sides.
Well, that's what's been keeping Garin in this game right now. They haven't really been able to generate enough rhythm and enough momentum on offense, so the defense is really keeping them in this game right now. And now, if you're the Garin offense, you know, you've had a lot of time to sit on the bench here and make sure you're ready to go. You want to try and reward this defense right here, right now, with about 8:42 left here in this first half.
Gelov has had a solid game up to this point. We've also mentioned Bumgarner with a couple of good carries. It will be Bumgarner solo back in the backfield on 1st down and 10. 2 receivers far side, and man in motion right to left is Braden Hall. And it'll just be a simple handoff to Gus Bumgarner, met right at the line of scrimmage and taken down immediately. That's a fantastic job up front by the Chittard defense. Looks like that was Sizzlick with a big stop. It's going to be 2nd down and 10.
Well, Chittard knows that you're going to run the ball a lot here, and so, yeah, you want to get it to Bumgarner as much as you can because he's your playmaker. But if you're Garin, I think you start going to the air a little bit here because right now they're pretty much got your run game neutralized.
High formation. 2 receivers still on that far side. You know, we've yet to see one of those deep balls to Bernie McGinnis. We did see one intermediate pass, and it's another handoff out the middle. Bottled up and drawn all the way backwards. I'm going to say forward momentum. Got him back to maybe the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a 3rd down.
And once again, it's just like you're like, I get what you're trying to establish here. You're trying to establish the running game because that is one of your big main things. But you do have a dual threat quarterback in Christian Gelov. You know, maybe you start letting Gelov letting him loose a little bit. Start letting him extend plays. Like what we saw on that one drive, he had a good extension, which was a completion to McGinnis. Try setting that stuff up a little bit more. I think we're going to see that right here.
3rd down and 11. On the left side now is Bumgarner. Taking the snap and looking right. Wanted to throw the deep ball. Instead, it's going to be big-time pressure. Breaking out of it. Gelov, scramble drill, and fumble. Scooped up by Chittard and some room to run on the right side. Looking to be chased down from behind, and he will be taken down, but not after it recovered by Wyatt Schrader, who had a big-time sack earlier in the game and takes it all the way into the red zone. Another one of those giant momentum-shifting plays.
Well, it's sloppy ball handling right there if you're Gelov. If you're going to keep it, you got to tuck it. You got to protect that ball, and he didn't right there. But also even then, it's one of those things where you didn't expect Schrader to be where he was at that certain point, and he forces that fumble. He picks it up, and now Chittard, they have a chance to try and go up even further than you already are.
Joe Calvert again on the sack, a big-time strip sack coming through from the linebacker position. And, of course, we mentioned him a couple of times already. Big-time move by Wyatt Schrader. Now handoff up the middle. Taylor stays on his feet, takes it inside of the 5-yard line. Very close. They can pick up one first down before they get into the end zone, but it's right there at about the 2-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like more at like between the 2 and the 1-yard line, but either way, I mean, you do whatever you can to either extend the drive and make sure you set yourself up in the right spot to punch it in here, but either way, you're down close to the end zone here. You're probably going to see a lot of Taylor, like right now.
Taylor gets it, cut back is there, stays on his feet, and walks into the end zone for the score. Just as you mentioned, we're going to see Taylor, and we just saw him.
You got a heavy dose of him. It's like I'm using that analogy a lot, but that's pretty much the only way to describe it. You get a whole bunch of these guys, you're just going to give it to the guys that are making things work. And, of course, this offensive line, they're having a heck of a night tonight for the Trojans because they're making it so that Taylor can be Taylor. He's just going right up the middle there. He cuts it right through the B gap that time for an easy 6. He stands up and he just goes into the end zone walking.
George Forsey out there for the extra point. Snap good. Kick is through the upright. So with 6:29 remaining here in the first half, it is 14-0. Chittard on top.
Today's game brought to you by Shin Technology Service Corporation. Technology is about humans.
We're good at your insurance. You're good at making funny face sandwiches. And we're good at your insurance. So start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
Hi, I'm Matt Wolford, president of the IHSAA Foundation, and we need your help. We need your help so the youth of our community can develop advanced leadership skills. We need your help giving high school administrators and coaches the instruction and insight they need to be better role models and teachers. To learn more or to make a tax-deductible contribution, go to IHSAAfoundation.org. You'll not only be contributing to the foundation of the IHSAA, you'll be contributing to the foundation of our community.
Want to know what I like best about playing basketball for my high school? I like it because it's a place where my friends get to see me play. I like it because I'm playing for someone besides myself. I'm playing for everybody in my school and every person in my community.
Indiana High School Sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Welcome back to Westfield halftime. It's homecoming Friday night with Brownsburg leading Westfield 17-0. Time for us to step aside for just a moment as we're happy to present this week's edition of the Commissioner's Corner. It's IHSAA Commissioner Bobby Cox, joined by Bob Lovell. Here's this week's edition of Commissioner
Cox. Mr. Myers.
Yeah, halftime score. Heritage Christian leads Covenant Christian 13-0. Just now in, Ben Davis is all over Lawrence North, guys, 28-7, and that is in the first quarter. And Mount Vernon leads 9-0 at halftime against Pendleton Heights.
Thank you very much. Keith was down on the sideline about 2 minutes ago. He got up here, Usain Bolt speed. That was impressive.
He's a nimble human being.
Very nimble. First down is a little bit too high. Pass intended for Bernie McGinnis. So it's going to be incomplete, second down and 10. And this is, you hate to say this is such a crucial drive in a game, but I think 14-0 with 6:20 remaining. I think this is a drive if you're guaranteed you need some points, especially with Chittard getting the ball in the second half.
You got to score on this drive right here, right now. You don't want to go into halftime with a goose egg on the board. And I like the play call right there to McGinnis, but he has to haul that in because McGinnis, he's one of those guys that you look to in these situations, and you just got to clean that up.
Second down and 10. Looking to pass again. This time over the middle is complete and hit immediately, but holding on to it is going to be big-time Dominic Ferrucci with the reception. And it'll be third down now and about 5.
So now you're here, you can go one way or the other, but if I'm Coach Dilley, you stick with the passing game right now, because right now they're still a little, they're starting to spread out a little bit. They're starting to see that you're passing it a little bit, and now you just try and take advantage of some of those holes right here. You don't do anything big. You keep that rhythm. You keep that momentum going.
Third down to keep the drive alive. It is going to be the shotgun. The exact type of formation that Chittard uses now on the right side is Bumgarner uses him as a blocker, and a great catch and a good cutback by Bernie McGinnis.
And McGinnis redeems himself for that incompletion there. He has to come out because his helmet came off, but either way, that's what you want right there. And of course, he evades the couple tackles, and it's just one of those things where you can't teach the fact that you just got to have the talent to get around and get yards after the catch, and he got him right there for a big first down.
Moving the chains, it'll be a first down, and Bumgarner, we say his name for the first time on the drive, got bottled up again. We saw that on the last set of downs. Really wasn't able to get anything going, and right here it gets shut down short.
Well, Chittard has pretty much done a very good job of containing Bumgarner. They realized that he was one of those guys that they're going to look to, and now Guerin's forced to look elsewhere, and they're kind of doing it right now, but they need to do a little bit more of it.
Second down and 8, left side. Ferrucci catches it again, another short gainer, but it brings up a third down and 5.
Ferrucci caught that ball on his knee, so he was immediately down right where he caught it. But I like the play. You're looking over the middle, you're going shot, but now you're getting a little bit into more of a 2-minute up-tempo offense here. I like it because now it's making it so that Chittard can't get set on defense.
Getlov looks over to the sideline, gets the play call. 2 receivers near us, 1 far side. And a pass to the left is tipped at the line and falls incomplete. Now bringing up 4th down and 4. Decision time early. I might want to just punt this one away.
I mean, yeah, they're going to punt it right here. I honestly would have been fine with either decision because you're 4th down and 4, even though you get to 4th down there off of a couple bad plays, you still have a little bit of momentum here. But I do like the idea of playing it safe and just going for the punt here for field position.
So Hawkinson out for the punt. Back deep is Andrew Sawinski to receive. With 4:23 left in the opening half, the ball again is taken by Chittard after halftime. This one's almost blocked. It is a high punt. Take bounce, a good bounce for Guerin, and this is going to be the best punt of the night so far, about at the 22-yard line. And let's take a look at that Chittard touchdown on the last drive. Shortened field position led to this run.
Well, yeah, and as you see right here, just that good blocking by the offensive line, they make sure that they're moving everybody over a little bit. It's almost like they're just sweeping the defense out of the way, and it's an easy touchdown there for Taylor.
Expect a lot of the same, except for now in the backfield, as they do a lot throughout the games all season, as they throw in Darian Gilbert, keep both running backs fresh into the second half, and Gilbert busted that big run on first down a couple of possessions ago.
Well, now if you're Chittard, you start running the ball a little bit more here. You try and eat the clock a little bit. You want to try and make sure that you're moving down the field, but also that you're making it as difficult as possible for Guerin to come back.
Drop pass on the far side by Coleman. So falls incomplete, stops the clock as well. A lot of time left here in the first half, and a beautiful crowd on hand. As you can see, Chittard brought up the student section. We look right by us, right here up in the press box, a huge student section put on by Guerin Catholic. This is an exciting game here in the area.
Standing room only here in Carmel.
Second down and 10. Gilbert now to the left side of Cheek. Gets the handoff and gets taken down in the backfield. So a little taste of their own medicine with the big-time pressure up the middle by the Golden Eagles.
It's kind of a sloppy snap there from Alex Geis, and it was just it took forever to get to the quarterback. It's like in that situation, in that type of play, you want to get that snap to the quarterback as fast as you can, so that, because it's like I said earlier, every second counts, and every second you lose is one other second that the defense is able to collapse in on you.
Taylor back in the backfield this time with Cheek and a hard count. Everyone stays patient for the Golden Eagles. 3rd and 7. Need to get across the 30 to about the 32 for the first. And it looks like a timeout will be taken by the Trojans. Coach Rob Doyle wants to talk this one over, and we're going to step aside and let you think about it as well. 14-0.
Move the football, get field position, and perhaps get yourself a shot later on. But what they cannot do is 3 and out here the first couple of times they get the football, because they're playing against a red-hot Brownsburg Bulldog team. And we've just seen how good they're playing right now. And good teams, when they're playing hot, will situations if you give it to them. So I completely agree, Rob. This first possession for Westfield will certainly be huge.
On the flip side, if there's one thing Brownsburg has been displeased with, it's been their second half play in their 2 losses this year. They lost to Cincinnati St. X in week 2 of the season in a game in which they felt they had control going into the third quarter and then just completely collapsed and ended up losing 38-17. And then 2 weeks ago at Avon, the game we were at, they lost 7-3, but really felt like in the second half they were not at their finest. So Brownsburg, in their 2 losses this year, have put up subpar performances in the second half. I'm sure that's something they're talking about in that halftime locker room.
Well, the last thing you want to do, and Coach Hart's been around the block a few times, he knows, hey, guys, I don't care what the score is. I could care less what we have right now. Do not look at that score. You are to play 110% and let's win this second half, because he knows in his mind, you win the second half, you win the ball game, because he's already won the first half. So you're right. They have to play 2 full halves of football here to win this game.
Again, Westfield gets the ball to start the second half, trailing 17-0. Peening will await deep the kickoff here for the Shamrocks on what is now a 70-degree night.
For Guerin Catholic, you take away that opening drive by Chittard, and then the extremely shortened field for Guerin after that fumble and return by Chittard. This defense has been spectacular.
It's like we said, the defense is carrying them, and that's all you can ask for from a defense. I mean, you don't, unless your defense is freakishly good, you don't expect them to do a lot of your offense on defense. This is exactly what Coach Dilly wants out of this defense right here, is just to keep them in the game. And if they can keep them within striking distance, then they got to try and make some adjustments on offense to make it work.
I believe our sideline reporter, or shall I say right behind me reporter, has another little tidbit for us.
Just want to let you know, guys, at halftime we have the president of Guerin Catholic. We have the president of Guerin Catholic on at halftime, and I got a lot of other features about Heritage Christian, about Guerin Catholic and Chittard.
Wow. Gosh. Never ceases to amaze me. He has a lot of tricks up his sleeve, as they like to say. Punt. High. And a little tiny bounce. Settles at the 35-yard line, so 3 minutes. 6 seconds remaining. 2 times.
Boy, defensively, that was number 92, Tony Allo, who was able to sneak in there, grab the ankles of the running back, and keep this to a 1-yard gain. Watch number 92 come off the edge and make this tackle here.
Wasn't that a great play? That's just coming hard off the edge, because you have just milliseconds in order to have a shot at that runner.
So 30 seconds into the second half, you're looking at 2nd and 9 for Westfield. Play action. And that ball was almost actually intercepted. A little high on the slant route intended for Wheeler. And that ball almost ended up in the hands of Jacoby McCowan, the free safety.
Well, as sharp as the passing game for Westfield has been in the early part of the season, not near as sharp as it's going to have to get here.
So now 3rd and 9, and again, what we talked about, if you're Westfield, you don't want a 3 and out here to start this second half, and they're looking at 3rd and long. Simons wants to throw. Looking to the right side, and that ball is caught, and that will be a first down. Jacob Riddle, tough diving catch there, but it will move the chains.
Riddle with a nice cut inside. Look at this pattern. Beautiful. Cuts inside. Little hitch pattern. Perfectly thrown that time.
Quickly, Westfield to the line of scrimmage. They will keep it on the ground this time. They'll give it to Eli Patchett. Patchett gets up to the 36-yard line. A nice run there on first down. That time Westfield, after they picked up the first down, quickly hurried to the line of scrimmage. Trying to get a little tempo here are the Rocks.
That's a good call, Rob. I think they need to pick up tempo here a little bit.
Patch it again. This time was hit in the backfield for a moment, and he's going to be tackled back there, actually. Cam Keys will end up getting credit for the tackle, but quite frankly, it was number 83, Jackson, that blew this play up from the beginning and slowed down the running back.
Well, that's what has made Brownsburg so difficult defensively, is they get so much pressure from these edges.
So, again, another 3rd and long, 3rd and 9. Just a moment ago, Westfield converted a 3rd and 9. Blitz coming. Simon's trying to step away from it. On the run, delivers. That ball is caught, but no, incomplete. Incomplete.
Petard getting the ball back, a minute 35 with 2 timeouts. This punt is high. It is a little short. Sawinski comes up, and it hits off the helmet of a Guerin player. So that's going to be spotted down at the 35-yard line.
You know, that went off the head of a Guerin player. I don't understand why Sawinski didn't dart after that ball, because that ball's live.
Mm-hmm.
That ball is live when that happens, and so Garrett is fortunate that he didn't go after it there, and now the ball is down right where it was. It's down where it was touched. It's down where it's touched, not back. So either way, that's where it's where play stopped, and now Chittard takes over inside their own 40.
Minute 24 left. It's going to be Cheek and a lot of wide receiver passing here. A big 2-minute offense. No huddle, slinged out to the right side. Staying in bounds, this time actually falling out of bounds. Great job. Last second getting it outside is Dalen Taylor. Good pickup. He's 2nd down.
Uncharacteristic of what we see out of Taylor. He only has 5 receptions going into this game tonight. That's his 6th on the season for 83 yards. And so just one of those things where they use him in the right position whenever they want to get him the ball like that. But, you know, it's just one of those things where he's actually talented enough to actually be threatening in multiple platforms.
2nd down and 3. There is a flag thrown. Might be a neutral zone infraction, but it's going to be escaping pressure. Cheek.
3rd and 2, but good throw, good catch, and he was open.
Yeah, and a good job by the Zionsville offensive line. The Royals brought a blitz. Seth Smurley, the Will linebacker, blitzed up through the middle, and Zionsville offensive line were able to recognize it and then pick up the blitz and then allow time for Wiseman to throw and then obviously get close to a 1st down here.
He's going to give it to Price on the 3rd down, and he's got enough room. Ooh, good tackle.
Be gone.
Yep.
Donovan Marcus is going to take this one to the house. Touchdown, Brownsburg, his 5th rushing touchdown of the season, and the Bulldogs are rolling.
Well, he doesn't need much. Gets great blocking. They seal the edge this time. And if you let a player like this see, he's got lead blockers. This is a huge hole for that big front line. And then he had just an escort for the next 10 yards, and then he didn't need much to take it the rest of the way. And that's a game-breaking, back-breaking, I should probably say, touchdown for the Bulldogs.
A touchdown run of 54 yards for Donovan Marcus. 5th rushing touchdown of the season. He had 15 rushing touchdowns a season ago. Extra point on the way, up and good from Clay.
Wiseman found him for a 1st down. And like I said, for the Royals, the same thing for Zionsville. When you're on the ball, it opens up the passing game. And so far we're seeing it on this opening drive of the 2nd half for Zionsville.
It's going to be pitch out to Colin Price, and he's got a little bit of room on the left side before he gets tackled, so it's going to be about a gain of 3. This is all of a sudden, 2 minutes into this 3rd quarter, Zionsville's HSC's 27, and they're moving.
They sure are, and if you're HSC, do everything you can to either force them to a 4th down conversion or a field goal in this part of the field. And so far, this is the first time really getting close to the red zone for Zionsville, so we'll see how the Royals defense reacts to that.
Let's get some pressure, but he's going to get it out to the right side, and he's got a lot of room, and he is going to break some tackles and be all the way down to the 10-yard line. So some sloppy tackling for the Royals leads to a big gain Zionsville, and it's going to be 1st and goal.
Yeah, Colin Price just looked like he was going to block for a second, then went straight out to the flat and was wide open and had plenty of green grass in front of him. And so really good run by them, and then Royals got sloppy on the tackling for something you can't do against Colin Price because he'll run right through it.
He's going to hand it off. Colin Price up the middle. Going to be another solid run for about 4.
Well, I told you the Zionsville team wasn't going to give up, and that Coach Turnquist would get them ready to go in the second half. And so far, we're seeing that they've come up and they've established a running game. They've had a couple long passes and some really good runs by Colin Price. So that they came out to play right in the second half, and so far, HSC is feeling what Zionsville can do.
Quick correction on what I said. It is not a 3rd and goal, but he's going to run it for about no gain. Maybe a gain of 1, but
this will bring up 3rd down and about 2. Because they can still get a first down right about at the 2-yard line.
Right.
So and basically 3 yards for a touchdown. So
it's probably closer to 5.
You're right. Yeah, 4 or 5.
Give the Price up
good
the middle.
Penetration.
Yep, good penetration, Royals. And
Loud
it's going to be close. Let's see where they mark it.
4th down. Yeah, good job by Loudon Sungling. Came right off the edge and got enough of Price to make him go down short of the first down, and brings up a really big 4th down and a chance for the Royals after really for the first time allowing a good offensive drive for Zionsville to get a stop and keep the shutout alive for the Royals and not allow Zionsville to get any momentum early in the second half.
He's going to keep feeding Colin Price, and the Royals are ready for it that time. Joel Cheche with a good tackle.
Didn't get it. Did not get it.
And it's going to be short. So HSC is going to take over about the...
That could have been a coffin corner, really setting the Orioles back, but instead it's fair caught at the 13.
Jack Phillips does have a leg, and even though he missed that earlier, I would still trust him in some field goal situations.
I think the biggest thing for Jack Phillips is not a worry about skill. It's about getting over that last miss. Kicking is a mental position. Once you can start for a team, you have the athleticism necessary. It's all about just being able to stay out of your head.
Due to the Fishers defense missing
Orioles line up in shotgun formation. Hands it off. Cuts right. He breaks a tackle. Spins. Breaks another one. Still on his feet. Finally brought down.
Then at Avon next week 5-0. Then back home to Fishers 4-1, and at Franklin Central 3-2. Yeah, Westville's got their work cut out for them.
Not easy for the Shamrocks. Here's a play-action rollout for Simons on the bootleg, and he was under some major pressure, had to just throw that football away. The blitz was on, and he had nowhere to go with the football as Jonah Billups, number 22, was in hot pursuit. And now you're looking at 3rd and 8. Boy, there have been a lot of 3rd and longs tonight for Westfield.
Yeah, and that's been part of their offensive dilemma. They can't stay ahead of 3rd down. They're always fighting the 3rd down bug, and they just become must downs, and now they're 3rd and long.
They're on the plus 39 here, looking for their first score of the game. Simons does want to throw. Looks down the middle. That ball is lofted high, and it is incomplete. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, if there's one thing that Brownsburg does incredibly well, so far I've seen them and Avon this year that it's able to really just play as sticky man-to-man in that secondary as you possibly can get. And the difficulty with that is those receivers have to develop separation zone. You can get separation a little earlier because you're not man-to-man, but man-to-man, your receivers are forced to find separation.
Well, Westfield going to play field position here on 4th and 8. They send out their punter, Bryson Hoover, to see if they can't pin Brownsburg deep, flip the field here. A rugby-style punt for Hoover over the head of Terrell, and it goes into the end zone. Into the end zone. So that'll end up being just a net punt of 19 yards with the ball bouncing into the end zone. And It was a solid drive for Westfield that kind of sputtered out there once they crossed midfield. And Brownsburg's going to bring their offense back onto the field, and they have a 24-0 lead.
Rob, a quick score update. North Central and Carmel going at it. Started the third period, all tied up at 7 apiece.
Wow.
In the second period, New Pal 49, Greenfield 0.
What a surprise. New Pal dominating yet another opponent. I believe they play the Chicago Bears next Friday. Donovan Marcus is the ball carrier. That'll take the ball out to the 26-yard line. What Brownsburg wouldn't give for like a 6-minute drive here.
Oh, yeah.
To wrap up the third quarter and put themselves cleanly into the driver's seat.
Well, we talked about this, and Coach Hart is, emphasizing it. Do not look at that scoreboard. We have to get better. It's one thing to play well against Fishers, another here. You've got to finish this season strong going into the sectional.
6 minutes to go. Third quarter. Marcus carrying. He has to get to the 30 for the first down. He will be right at the 30. If they mark him as the line to gain the 30-yard line, that would be a first down. The nose of the football, though, is about 6 inches shy. And quickly, Brownsburg hustles up to the line. Easters is going to quarterback sneak, and he will pick up the first down. Well, let's talk about that. Remember, Brownsburg last year went undefeated until they lost to Avon in the sectional. That was their only loss of the year.
Henry Essen lining up in the spread formation, takes the snap, fakes the handoff, throws the screen pass, nearly brought down by a Tiger behind the line, but instead turns it into a positive gain. Playing a team like Avon, you cannot be having things like unnecessary penalties and missed tackles, which plagued the Tigers since the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, Tigers going scoreless all the way through quarters 2 and so far in 3.
They're down 5, a ball in the 38. Looks like Henry Essen's lining up in a pistol eye formation here. Henderson takes the snap, drops back, looking for a target, makes the throw. Brought down. I think they stopped him, unless he gets pushed forward. We'll have to see where the refs spot the ball here.
As we saw a swarm of players in there, the pile just trying to fight for yards.
It looks like they're going to call it a fourth down. We haven't really seen much of Avon's kicker yet, so we don't know what they'll do here. Avon's typically a pretty aggressive team, so I think they're going to go for it, which they are. Fishers has to be ready to stop that running back and also ready to guard that deep part of the deep zone of the field. This has been really the two biggest deficiencies for the Tigers tonight. Henry Essen gets a snap, looks for the throw, pass complete, pushed out of bounds at the 25. Key fourth down conversion there for the Orioles. They're looking to get on the board again and tie up the game.
Bowman basically threw it right to the Zionsville defender. I couldn't catch what number the Zionsville defender was, but good job for him. Right place, right time, and so he takes it back to the house and gets Zionsville a touchdown. So still plenty of time left to get back to the game.
Jeb Garrett, the linebacker, with the pick six for Zionsville. So
Garrett with a good run after taking the interception and gives Zionsville some momentum. And if you're Hobson, if you're the Royals, that's one thing you really couldn't do is turn the ball over. But luckily, they've given himself a pretty good cushion that they can recover from if they don't continue.
Football last week too.
Donovan Marcus trying to run it in between the tackles, gets inside of the 10, stays on his feet. And look at that strength by Marcus. They won't blow him dead because he's just pushing the pile the proper direction. At least if you're an offensive player, the proper direction.
Nothing fancy here. Just big linemen, good backs, power football.
And Westfield.
13-14.
That was on the new starting cornerback, Sept as well.
This is shaping up to be a fantastic game. Orioles lining up for the extra point. Snap is good. The kick is up. The refs say it is good. We have a tie game here.
I really felt coming in here, if you were to ask me, one of the keys to the game would be Westfield offense has to stay on the field, and they've just not been able to do that consistently tonight.
Well, and this young defense is about to get younger. One of the few seniors they have, Trevor Lickfeld, is the player that's being helped off of the field for Westfield.
Good. That's not good.
So the young get younger for the Shamrocks here on defense with 3:12 to play.
Make it difficult for Zionsville to make the comeback, come all the way back, I should say.
So a good kickoff, and Jaden Smith's going to have to backpedal and another touchback. So the Royals will get the ball at the 20-yard.
Easter's in the pistol. They put Middlebrook in the backfield as a blocking back, and it works. Touchdown, Brownsburg. Donovan Marcus. They put the 300-pound defensive tackle Dane Middlebrook into the backfield as a blocking back, and Donovan Marcus says, thank you very much. It's now 30-0.
Take a look at it. They got trapped, overloading that right side, and that's difficult to stop it. Locomotive when it's coming straight at you and you only got 1 yard to stop it.
Marcus's second touchdown run here in the third quarter. His sixth touchdown run of the season. Harless to hold, extra point on the way from Clay Chase, up and good, and it is now 31-0.
Give it to Blaine Wirtz on the left side, and he's going to cut back up to the middle and get a couple more yards, probably about 3, so 3rd and 2 coming up.
Good run by Blaine Wirtz. Just 2 guys there to tackle him. He just cuts the other way and picks up a couple extra yards, and so it makes it a 3rd and 1. And this is one, if you're Zionsville, it would be huge to get a stop, keep the momentum on your side, and get your offense out there, but also a chance for the Royals to kind of calm down a little bit, get a first down, and get things going again.
One thing I have seen this game I wanted to point out, early in the season, those first down, second downs, runs for no gain and get behind the chains or behind the sticks for 3rd down and long. But as Blaine breaks a run out to the right side, and he's got a lot of room ahead of him, and he's down to the 40-yard line, 35, and tackled all the way down to about the 28-yard line. Very, very impressive run by Blaine Wirtz, and that is a big momentum shifter if you're HSE.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Great run by Blaine, and it takes any of the momentum that Zionsville is starting to build away from them as the Royals are now on the plus side of the field, and they did mark him down at the 30-yard line, it looks like. So, but what a run by Blaine, what a job by the Royals offensive line, and Blaine just found the hole and took it and made a nice cut to the outside to pick up extra yards, and just a great run by him.
Going to put Tony Myers in motion, and they're going to give it to him on the left side, and he's got a couple blockers in front of him, and a flag is down. So let's see what that is.
This one's likely to be coming back, but we will find out for sure.
Putting the ball.
Yep, it's coming back.
Yep. Back to the point I was talking about a little bit earlier before Blaine broke the run. Those first downs where we get runs for maybe 1 yard, 2 runs, and then we bring up a 3rd and 9, and have to pass and not much doing. Yeah. But this game, the Royals are doing a lot better on those first down and second down plays, getting yardage and not forcing a 3rd and 9 on coming their way. So
that's what you got to do in general. You got to stay ahead of the sticks, make your 3rd downs, 3rd and manageables, make them opportunities where you have a good chance of picking up a first down. When you're 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, the whole game, you're probably going to win the game because you're going to pick up a lot of those first downs. But if you're 3rd and 10, 3rd and 9, majority of the game, you're not going to get them, and your defense is going to be out there a lot.
Bad snap, and there's going to be another flag.
False start. There's going to be a snap infraction, false start.
Just as we're talking about staying in front of the sticks, we're going to be 1st and 17, so hopefully HSE can fight.
Take the lead.
Pruitt takes the snap, hands it off. Looks like he gets stopped for a gain of a yard or 2.
Lucas getting a few games of experience in last season. We will now see a more sharp and improved Lucas Pruitt to lead this offense.
That was a good way of putting it there. Tigers are definitely in contention for a high seed placement in the HCC tournament, or the Indian State football tournament, excuse me. So it's going to be a real disappointment to their season hopes if he's hurt right here and isn't able to get back.
As I do see Marcus stretching his legs on the sideline, makes me wonder if it was a muscle cramp.
We've heard from our sources that it appears to just be a calf cramp. Pass from Lucas Pruitt is swatted and nearly picked off. Avon has failed to capitalize on several of those plays where they have swatted the ball. Another very fortunate break for the Tigers. 4th down and 5 for the Tigers, and they're on 29. They're going to punt it here with 6:43 left in the third quarter.
Tigers are going to be forced off the field once again. Defense put back onto the field. Avon could possibly get 21 unanswered
high snap
against us.
Oh, he has to fake the punt. He's going to run. He does not have it. I'm not sure what happened there. Jack Phillips isn't able to get it. The Avon's going to take over deep in Fisher's territory. That's a terrible mistake there in a close game like this, especially when your starting quarterback isn't even on the field.
He's got to play smart. Especially you got to learn how to play with the lead, play smart, not make mistakes, and usually you're going to be all right with the defense that we have.
And the run to Blaine Wirtz isn't going to pick up much. So 4th and 17, we just couldn't fight back from those early penalties on first down. So it looks like HSC's probably going to punt. We're keeping the offense for now.
Yeah, we'll probably hesitate for a second and then bring them on. You could go for it technically here. You wouldn't be giving them great field, or you'd be giving them good field position, but it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. But I would punt it, try to pin them deep, and make them go a long field if you believe in your punting game. But as they line up, we'll see what they do.
Right. He's going to put them in motion.
They might try to call
fake
a
the snap
timeout.
and probably call a timeout.
Yeah, because that play call, if you're going to try to get half, you wouldn't run. He's going to take the delay of game, actually, which will move him back 5 more yards to allow the punter to try to pin it deep.
Get some room, yep.
But you can decline this.
The Tigers had all of it. I think it's starting to shift now, and the Orioles are taking control.
Yeah, they really are controlling the pace of the game.
Handoff there. He runs into his own lineman and is brought down. Impressive. No, that was not a stop. Excuse me. Tackle by Jeffrey Brown, though, after a short gain. First down for Avon on the Tigers' 20-yard line. Still tied 14-14 here with 5:46 left to go in the third period. Henry Essen takes a snap, drops back. There's pressure, makes a throw to 16. He gets the first down. The Tigers have been allowing so many passing yards.
We're used to seeing this Tiger defense hold teams in a few yards. And right now, Avon is just clicking on all cylinders right now.
I think if Fishers gets one more score, regardless of whether Avon scores here, I think that's going to be enough to push the game back into their favor. Once they get that kind of offensive spark back, I don't think that the Orioles are going to be able to snuff it out again.
Our Fainstings have been quiet due to Avon doing well on us.
Another touchdown and essentially the same play we've seen every time. They've run three goal line fades with the same receiver, and they're 3 for 3. I don't know how the Tigers haven't adjusted. It's the same play, same read for Hessen, and same result every time. This appears to be poor coaching by Wimmer right now.
Avon is really
If you look at the replay here, you can see it's exactly what we've seen every time with the goal line fade.
Silencing this Fishers crowd.
Nick Bandy here, set for the PAT. PAT. Good snap. Hits the PAT.
Touchdowns in the third quarter by Brownsburg running back Donovan Marcus. One on a 54-yard run, the other on a 4-yard run. And it's Brownsburg blowing this thing open. They lead 31-0 on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
By Zionsville.
Going to give it to Colin Price, and
so you got the first down. Yeah, got the first down.
Yeah, the Royals were there, but forward progress carried them past the marker. And it's going to be first down. So good job of Zionsville getting out of the half-yard line, and hopefully HSC doesn't give up too many yards, but we shall see in 35 seconds and counting about from left in this third quarter. Seems like a pretty quick third quarter.
Well, it was a quick quarter.
And pass out to the right side, and it is about a shoestring tackle down by the feet.
Trey Firestone there on the catch, just ran a quick out route. Good job by the Royals coming up and making a tackle and not allowing any yards after the catch. Yeah.
At the end of the third quarter, quick reminder, Southeastern Sports Network is made possible by Sky Zone and Fishers this year. Come in and fly with them.
Next week, but maybe you want to watch a game from week 1, week 2, week 3. You can call it up and watch it there.
Quick scoreboard update for you. Carmel now, or North Central leads over Carmel 10-7 with only 3:49 left. That one, Center Grove 21, Lawrence Central 0. It's now Center Grove 21, Lawrence Central 0. So there's some updated scores for you.
We will welcome ourselves to the opening of the fourth quarter with a 3rd and 2 for Brownsburg.
Another record.
And Brownsburg has made a change at quarterback, by the way. They're comfortably ahead, so they have brought in senior quarterback Braden Davis to start here in the fourth quarter. Davis now the quarterback wearing number 12. He's going to run an option, and the ball is bobbled. Option football, it's on the ground, and I think it's going to be recovered by Westfield. They tried to go option right with a pitch to Brandon Burks, the deep back, and the ball was not caught cleanly, and it's the first takeaway of the night for the Westfield defense, as Westfield has a turnover, a takeaway, and it is credited to Benji Welch, number 3. It's his first fumble recovery of the season.
Well, and Brownsburg, once again, not playing the score, not going to be happy about this turnover for sure. Just one thing you don't want as a coach is turnovers. Real quick, Rob, a new record has been established in the state of Indiana. You want to take a guess which team that might be?
New pal.
Thank you.
Charlie Spiegel.
Charlie Spiegel is now the all-time record for the most touchdowns in a high school career. New pal leads Greenfield Central 55-0.
Westfield has also made a change at quarterback. This is a catch, by the way. Catch is made by Westfield's Carson Voris, but just like Brownsburg, Westfield has gone ahead and made a change at quarterback, as Westfield has now brought in number 18. This is junior Nick Talley, now quarterbacking for the Shamrocks.
Well, if you're Westfield, you just want to find the end zone. You're maybe going to have struggle to get a victory here tonight, but you got a lot of games left, and you still have to improve.
And Micah Hauser is helping that cause, because he has just taken the ball down to the 22-yard line. Nice run there by the sophomore Hauser. Hauser just running through a tackle there. A Brownsburg player had him at the line of scrimmage, but Hauser kept the legs moving and has a nice, strong run. Talley wants to throw, and he has his man. That's Dane Wheeler. Wheeler's inside of the 10.
There you go.
Wheeler is fighting. He'll get all the way to the 6-yard line. Strong as Dane Wheeler, squats over 470 pounds. That's a lot of weight for a guy who's only 5'11", 185. And a nice reception and run, and it's 1st and goal now from the 6 for Westfield. Talley to Hauser, touchdown Shamrocks. Micah Hauser, 6-yard touchdown run. His 4th touchdown of the season, and it's 31-6.
Straight up the middle they go. Good blocking on this whole drive. Little trap play to the right by the Shamrock offensive line, and he just walks it in. They needed a score for obvious reasons.
Well, it's their first score since the first quarter of last week.
That may be as big as anything. I mean, this has been a difficult game for them, but still a young team, and they've got to find some answers. They got to keep fighting, and you knew they would.
Fishers really needs to convert here. It's 3rd and 3 for the Tigers on the 36.
No Scally yet. Silas Martin coming in, our blocking tight end. We'll see a run from Fishers on this 3rd and 3.
Marcus Drew under center.
Watch out for Reese Boland in the slot, who's a great possession receiver.
Absolutely, he's a threat as always. Marcus Drew takes the snap, hands it off. Push it. Tigers trying to push the pile. It's going to be close. I think they're going to have to get the chains out for this one. I think the Tigers have to go for it here. The Rapids a yard short, 4th and 1.
The QB sneak did work for a few yards back on the goal line. We could see that again from Fishers. The QB sneak is not uncommon in our playbook. Wimmer likes to go with it.
We're able to do that with a mobile, fast quarterback like Marcus Rue. Tigers hurry up to the line. Avon pretty much sending everyone on that front 7. Oh, I think they're pushed back. That is terrible for the Tigers there. Looks like he was stuffed at the line. I'm not sure why they didn't call a timeout there. The Orioles had pretty much every player right there. They knew what was coming.
Running QB sneak earlier in the game could have...
It's either going to work or that's going to happen. It's not going to work, and they're going to get penetration and stop you short. So
it'd be really good or really bad.
Yeah, and now they get really good field position. And I know you're up 21, so you probably feel a little bit more okay with doing that. There's not as big of a risk if it was a tied ball game or only a 7-point ball game, but still plenty of time if for Zionsville to get to make it interesting and make it a close game. So they will have good field position to start off this drive.
Wiseman will drop back and looking to pass, and he's going to lob it up deep left side and is going to be thrown out of bounds. Good coverage, Jake Houston. He's letting the receiver know that one was incomplete, but just thrown out of bounds. So going to be 2nd and 10 coming up, 9.5 minutes left in the game.
Yeah, knowing Jake Houston, playing with him before, he's a fiery player, and he certainly talks a little bit of smack to the opponent, tries to get in their head a little bit, which a lot of DBs do to the receivers, and the receivers try to do to the DBs. They're talking a lot during the game a lot. So
he's going to take the snap, look to pass again, and he is going to throw it over the middle and is caught for a 1st down and more, about to the 39-yard line. So
throws deep, but it looks like it's covered. A great defensive play there, knocking the ball out of number 11 for the Orioles' hands.
As we see, they've switched to Jackson Dunn to the other side to guard that receiver, as we see Seth Dunnick, who did give up 2 touchdowns in the 3rd quarter.
Hopefully this is a sign of the future for Seth Dunnick, and he's going to play like that in the red zone more.
Seth Dunnick was actually been taken out and replaced by number 21 on Fishers.
Henry Heston getting ready to take the snap on this 3rd down and 9. Let's see what they do here. He hands it off. Can the Tigers stop him? Great stop there for the Tigers. I think they needed this. Let's see if they go for it. I think they do here. 4th down and 6 for the Orioles.
4th down.
Henry Heston appears to be remaining on the field. Let's see what the Tigers can do here. Henry Heston with the throw. He completes it. It appears he's gotten the 1st down.
As we do see Avon get it.
He got the 1st down. The Tigers let them convert. That is an absolute morale breaker there for the Tigers. I'm not sure what they can do with under a minute left in the 3rd quarter. Henry Heston takes the snap, hands it off. Looks like it's going to be a draw, but he bumps it outside, breaks a couple tackles. He is hard to bring down. He's a tough runner. He's been a tough runner all game, and it will continue to be, I believe.
He was like a bowling ball right there getting through the Fishers defense.
And unfortunately, the Tigers have been bowling pins. 2nd down and 2 for the Orioles. Ball on the Tigers' 20-yard line with 10 seconds left to go in the quarter.
Avon acting as if they're going to try and fit in the play here before the quarter ends.
I think they're just going to let the clock run out here. Oh, go actually take a snap here, run it up the gut, but he stopped. But I think it's still enough for the first down. That's the end of the quarter. We're going to go in a quick break.
Yeah, big play for Zionsville, just like the Royals earlier, try to get half.
They're going to pass it right on the little out route, and it's just going to be too high for the receiver, Cam Cooper. So it's going to be 4th and long.
Yeah, number 7, Dom Vecchiarella down the field was mad at Wiseman because he was open, which should have been for a touchdown if Wiseman just looks his way. So fortunately for the Royals,
he did not look that way.
Yeah, didn't look that way and didn't see him. But really, Wiseman had a couple guys open, and then the comeback was open too briefly, but he just threw it way over his head and for an incomplete pass. So
fourth and 15
down here. Yep.
They're going to go with the 5 wide for the first time this game, I think, and he's going to just look like an all-go. He's going to throw it deep to the right side, and it is picked off. Yeah, it's going to be picked off for the Royals.
That's another one where you wish he dropped it because you get a lot better field position, but the Royals will take it. Interception and great job for the Royals. Really.
And this will be the first down. Inside of the red zone on the run by Devin Jones. Stop the clock momentarily to move the sticks. Now, your statue that sets out front of Noblesville High School, that was privately funded, to my knowledge. Is that
Which
correct?
statue is this?
The Big Jan Bozier statue. Greatest football player in the history of Noblesville High.
There's a statue out there.
Near the cafeteria.
Well, now that one may be. There's certainly none around the athletic facility.
31-7. Brownsburg's trying to add to its lead and trying to do it with some backups. Speaking of backups, here's a new guy into the game. Carrying the ball for the first time tonight, this is Caleb Sherrill. He's a 5'10", 170-pound senior. As Coach John Hart getting some of his backups some quality reps here in a conference game.
And that's got to make you feel good. And for us who's played the game when you're a freshman or a sophomore, first of all, it's tough to go on the road because they usually only dress so many, on the road. And just to get a chance to play not only in a facility like this, a conference game, just to get on the field as a young guy, man, it was the greatest feeling ever.
2nd down and 9. Incomplete. They gave the backup QB Davis a chance to throw the football, but incomplete. Intended for Ty Matthews, the junior wideout. It is 3rd and 9 coming up now. Well, next week, Westfield at Avon. You look at a monstrous schedule, back-to-back if you're Westfield. Brownsburg, then Avon in back-to-back weeks. Brownsburg at home next Friday night against Zionsville. Brownsburg with a chance.
I am told that Avon now has broken open. They now lead 28-14 in the 4th.
There you go. So the Avon Orioles imposing their will as the number 1 team in the state. Fourth and 7. Brownsburg going to keep the offense on the field. I think they might take a timeout here. Play clock is running down. It's under 10 seconds. Yeah. Coach John Hart is going to walk over to the official and take a timeout here as the play clock is about to get to 0. And the clock will stop. Game clock is at 5:27. Brownsburg uses a timeout. We'll take one as well. Bulldogs are cruising. They lead 31-7 on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Hey fans, Rob Blackman and Big Jan Bozier here, and do we have a special opportunity for you?
It's got to be about hot dogs, Rob.
Actually, Jan, it's a better opportunity than that.
Positive sign. He doesn't appear to be in any pain.
Dylan Skelly is on the field.
Oh, he is on the field. Never mind. Marcus Rue lining up under center. 2 out left. Nearly jumping off sides. Marcus Rue fakes the handoff, sends the pass deep. He has his receiver. A beautiful pass and catch there for the Tigers. Oh, it falls incomplete. That's unfortunate. That would have been that would have gone on the highlight film for the Tigers if that would have been caught.
Almost a great catch, but Marcus really just had to throw that up because he took a big hit in the backfield.
That wasn't so much a bad drop as it was fantastic defense there by the Orioles. A score update on another HEC matchup. HSE is currently up 28-7 against Zionsville. Marcus Rue lining up in the gun, spread formation. Takes the snap, hands it off. Dylan Scally trying to get outside. He gets past the edge. I believe he's got the first down, using that incredible speed there to torch the Avon defense.
That looked like a read option for Marcus again. Wimmer loves to work in those options.
That hesitation there by Marcus Rue made me think the same thing.
I'm not sure if that was 100% designed to Scally, but Marcus did take that pause, or it looked like he was reading the defense. It could have just been a fake.
11 and a half minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. Tigers down by 2 scores. Let's see what they do.
Let's see if Fishers can get it to their playmaker.
Marcus Rue in the gun, takes the snap, drops back. Has good pocket presence, makes the throw. I believe that's to Reese Boland there, and it is. Pass is complete for a good 7 or 8 yards, it looks like.
Back again to Reese Boland.
It was for 8 yards, 2nd and 2 on the 42 for the Tigers. There's still plenty of time, but the Tigers have to keep the clock in mind, as they can't be doing these long run-only drives they were doing earlier. They have to score with a decent amount of timing and efficiency.
Yeah, we do need to work in some time for another possession to try and get this win. And our defense...
Rue takes a snap, hands it off. Looks like Scally just gets back to the line. It's going to be a 3rd down and 2.
This is now maybe 3rd and 3.
It's 3rd and 3 at the 41-yard line.
It looks like Scally actually lost a yard there, making it 3rd and 3. I don't see any way the Tigers don't go for it here. It's win or lose situation.
Yeah, this is where big plays have to be made.
I think we're looking here at Reese Boland, Marcus Rue, and Dylan Scally. They hand it off to Scally. Scally was fighting, but he gets stopped. Stuffed in the backfield.
Aspects of running the football. His forte is running downhill right up the gut, but he can be a little bit deadly on the outside.
2nd down and 1. And a quick sweep out to the left side, a quick pitch that is, and it's going to be a good carry across the 1st down yard to gain. So Chittard picking up exactly where they left off, and a 1st down on their first set.
And now if you're just Chittard, you keep pounding it away here right now. You're up big, and if anything, you just stick to the ground and pound. You just keep everything moving. You keep spreading out the offense, the defense of Guerin, and you keep them guessing here. But right now, you're going to see a lot of running here. Probably not a whole lot of passing the second half from the Trojans.
1st down, man right to left, and it'll be a handoff out the middle. Taylor taken down after a minimal gain of about 1 yard. So a 2nd down coming up now.
And the clock is going to keep ticking. That's another reason why you're going to see them running the ball a lot. They're going to start milking this clock as much as they can, even though it's early in the second half. It's like Guerin, they're going to do everything they can to protect this league, and even if that means giving Guerin as little time as possible to get that done.
The number 1 team in the class of 3. Remember that on the Sagarin ratings. Sagarin, however you say it. Sagarin. Like that word. Tipped at the line of scrimmage and almost. Oh, that could have been a monster play. As the ball was tipped.
And nearly intercepted.
Could have been a pick 6 if it was hung up in the air just a second longer.
Well, if he and that ball a little bit too far out in front, just off the end of the fingertips there for Wheeler, incomplete. And that'll make it 3rd and 8. Incomplete. Boy, got right up, and I mean right up to the line of scrimmage did Tally before he decided to throw that ball. It was not. It was an illegal forward pass. I thought he had gotten rid of the ball before he had crossed the line of scrimmage, but I was incorrect. Our referee, Jason Ferguson, says no, that was actually beyond the line of scrimmage. So that is an illegal forward pass there by Tally.
Well, as you talked about, we'll be at Guerin Catholic next week, and they play a team from Michigan called Pontiac Notre Dame. Guerin Catholic 4-1 coming in tonight, but Chautauqua was leading last we looked.
Fourth down, Westfield says why not on 4th and 13. They got a man open. Catch made, and it's going to be close. It's going to be right at the first down marker. A backup receiver into the game, Ian Bruch. And he caught that ball, little wheel route to the top of your screen, a really well-run route, and a nice throw by Tally. And, yeah, boy, I think that should be a first down, and it is. Yes, they go ahead and say that is a first down.
That's a pretty well-thrown ball. He threw it right over the top of the first defender and behind the back in that zone coverage.
Tally going to keep now on a inside zone read. Take the ball to the 12-yard line, tackled there. As we're about to go less than 3.5 minutes training.
I want to thank the fine people here at Westfield High School on homecoming. Andy Tabby, the new athletic director. I think that's right? Taking over for a long time. Bill Davis, I want to say. Did a super job here at Westfield High School. Great people.
Tally better look out. He's going to be sacked. He had one coming in from behind and another one that it's.
Gilbert still out there in the backfield, stays in to block, airs it deep left side, and it's Sowinski again, falling forward in for the touchdown. Sowinski, big time haul in off the left side, 36 yards for the score.
Not much separation there by Sowinski, but it didn't really matter because that was
Great improv there by Henry Hessen to escape what was almost certainly a pass play and turn it into a big run.
Fisher's just failing to execute right there.
If you look on the replay, you can see it again.
He had him in the backfield for a loss, and then there's just a missed tackle, and he slipped away from another defender and brought it to the house.
Avon went for a desperate blitz, and
they
had
out
Brownsburg
there.
Completely fooled.
Yes, they did.
Nice play by the Shamrocks. Now 34-13. Extra point is up on the way from Sean Sullivan. It is good, and it's 34-14 with 2:40 to play. We'll take a timeout. Tonight we're at Westfield, and you're watching it on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
Never miss a big game by downloading the IHSAA TV app for free on any device.
Hoping for another one next week for the Pink game against Noblesville. And then the game after that will be followed by his senior night against Franklin Central. So 2 more home games left. Come out and see the girls the next couple weeks. Be big to get a couple more wins heading into the season finale against Brownsburg.
Yeah, Royal Faithful, come out to that Brownsburg game. We're going to need you.
We'll be on our fall break, but we'll be there.
We will.
At least we hope so if we get approved by
Brownsburg Athletic Department.
Yep. Which we are hopeful we will be.
Avon 35-14 against Fishers, so
yeah,
that
35 unanswered. That's impressive.
Yeah.
And
take
Brownsburg
command.
Just scored, or it looks like, or Westfield just scored, it looks like, and now they're up. Brownsburg's up 34-7.
Franklin Central scored, so it's 14-13 Noblesville. Pending the extra point, I assume. So that game will be interesting. And the scores around the area. Carmel is still up 10-7 against North Central.
If you get to talk about your Cubs, I get to talk about my Colts this
Attaboy.
weekend against the Oakland Raiders.
It's going to be a good game.
Yeah, 2-1 are the Colts.
Should be 3-0, but we'll live with it. We'll take the snap at the kick at the 20-yard line and run of about 8 yards to the 28. And that's where Zionsville will take over with just about 2 minutes left in this game. Let's see if Zionsville, just wants to run out the clock or see if they will try to make a move.
This is a drive where you can try to get a rhythm, get some confidence heading into practice and into next week. Or you can try to run the clock out too and just say, we didn't play our best tonight, and try to get out of here with no injuries. But it looks like they are going to throw it.
And it is going to be underthrown. Cole Wiseman underthrew it. Incomplete. So it is going to be 2nd and 10 and 2 minutes even left on the clock.
And Coach Morris definitely has to be excited with tonight's performance, and I'm sure he is looking forward to the next couple weeks with opportunities ahead of him, winnable games for sure against Noblesville at first and then Franklin Central at home.
Looks like we got a breakaway here.
And Caleb Sherrill, the backup running back, the senior, shows what he can do when he gets a chance. Nice run by Sherrill.
Yep.
Takes the ball all the way to the 31-yard line of Westfield.
Well, just more depth they're showing, and we knew they had it. They got all kinds of athleticism, and they can throw at this backfield. Nice cut inside, and this just individual effort. Cuts back outside. How about a little speed on top of it? Nice play.
Caught by Mario Chalmers, who was the last guy who had a chance at him. He caught him from behind. The game clock is about to go under 2 minutes now. As Braden Davis, the quarterback, is waiting. Back to Sherrills again. Again, he tries to break it out to the right side of the formation. Same place he had success on a go. This is a first down run inside of the red zone down to the 19.
This kid, you know what this kid's showing us? He wants to play. He wants to play. Coach, put me in. I'm showing you right now what I can do.
Caleb Sherrill, 170-pound running back, but again, a senior. Tough to get on the field when Donovan Marcus is in front of you, but
you never know.
Never know. Devin Jones, another senior running back that gets snaps. But Sherrill making a case here. And I think Brownsburg's going to make another change at quarterback. Yes, they are. They have just brought their third different quarterback into the game, and they've got a new running back as well. The new quarterback here is number 8. He is Jaden Whitaker. He is a freshman. The third string QB has come into the game. And number 26, this is Daniel Grice, who's a senior running back. He just carried the ball a second ago. We're under a minute to go in the game.
Well, that's super cool. A freshman getting a taste of varsity football. That doesn't happen a lot, especially the bigger classes. There's so many kids. But,
yes.
But to be able to touch the field in a varsity game as a freshman, wow, that's special.
He is the quarterback here, and he's going to take a knee. The only bad thing for the freshman, that will hurt his rushing per game average after
he's
the
glad
loss.
to do it.
They won't have to snap it again. This game is going to go final. As the clock will run.
Continues to run for under 40 seconds and counting. It'll be second
for
and
Zionsville.
1.
This score is not going to mean much on the scoreboard, but this will mean a lot for the team and going into next week in practice.
Yeah, they can end the game on a high note.
Right. And Colin Price is going to get in there, and it's going to be a touchdown, Zionsville. So the offense gets on the board. The first score of the game for them was a pick 6. So their offense finally gets on the board with a Colin Price touchdown, and with not much time, a good drive by Zionsville to end this game on a high note for them.
A couple impressive runs by Colin Price, and now he adds his 9th touchdown on the year, and tonight he's definitely gone over 1,000 yards for the season as well. So,
couple big milestones there.
Yeah, and good for them to finish the game on a high note, and go into practice next week knowing that they got to play better, but at least they feel a little bit better about themselves as they end the game. But the Royals, for the most part, had a dominant performance tonight.
Kick is up, and the kick is good. So it is going to...
It looks like a flag thrown. Based on the spotting of the ball, I think it's against the Orioles. We'll have to see what the call here is by the refs. Henryson hands the ball off, runs it outside, nearly breaks another tackle, but is instead stopped at the line of scrimmage. Good tackle there by the Tigers. That was Jeffrey Brown there, the preseason All-State linebacker.
Oh, yeah.
2nd down and 9 here for the Orioles on their own 41.
Yeah, the Fishers defense was really put to the test this game, and we weren't able to respond properly, as represented by the scoreboard.
Still on hand. Wind has picked up. 3rd down. Baumgartner now to the right side of Gelov. Gelov rolls right, some space, and fires it for the 1st down. Oh, they're going to say out of bounds. They're going to say he was standing out of bounds when he caught it.
Still, though, I like the ability to try and make something out of nothing right there. Obviously, it didn't pan out for him, but Chittard, they brought the pressure, but that time Gelov, he pretty much saw it and knew that he had to get out of the pocket, and he did. And again, props to the receiving corps for making sure that they were getting themselves available to at least try and make the throw possible. And it almost happened there, but just didn't go down.
4th down now and 7. On the 29-yard line. Shotgun formation. 3 receivers on the far side and 1 near us. Baumgartner now lined up on the right side. Looking right over the middle, and it's incomplete. Dropped, and it was Hagel again, intended receiver. That's a turnover on downs.
That's a tough one to swallow for Hagel right there. It's like it was perfect.
I think it was definitely well put how you said he can't be brought down by the first man, because that is a sentiment that's rang true here multiple times tonight.
I'm not counting out that he's a strong player, but it's almost his speed that's helping him break away from these defenders, because when the defender makes their original angle, they're not expecting this speedy running back coming out of the backfield. They're used to what they're prepared for, and that was the starting running back for Avon.
I think we're trying too hard to put him into a category. He's really just a great all-around running back, and there's no way around it. Keep in mind, though, he is aided by Avon's amazing offensive line. So you can't take that out of consideration, though. A little over 3 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Handed off by the Orioles. It's a 1st down run.
Big run.
The Tigers are essentially powerless to stop this constant barrage of runs up the middle and around the left guard by the Orioles. And it's not getting any better either. It's a 1st down for Avon on the Tigers' 28 with 3 minutes left to go in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, Avon's just going to run the clock out, and I wouldn't be surprised if they get in another score.
North Central leading Cardinal 270. 2:50 to go and counting in this game. Love's still in there, running back. 2 running backs, 2 receivers.
Hanson hands it off to the running back. Oh, it's actually a keeper. Was that? No. He actually had the announcer's foot here, with that being some sort of reverse, it appears.
Yeah, that looked like a jet sweep to number 11, Joe Hall.
Tigers fans, make sure to head out to support our freshman and JV teams tomorrow when they play Avon.
With 3 touchdowns tonight.
2 minutes and 20 seconds left in the quarter. Henry Hessen looking to take the snap with 1st down and 10 on the Tigers 15. Takes the snap, hands it off up the middle. Gets taken down pretty quickly, but not after a run up the middle. That got him about 5 yards. Tackle once again by Jeffrey Brown, the Tigers' star linebacker.
Game has reached the 2-minute mark. Avon's just going to keep taking their time.
2nd down and 5.
This has really just been unfortunate, because I remember after we got in that second score, we were talking about how one more would really put it away, and then Avon just adjusted.
Yep.
Oh, now we've got a rare stoppage here.
Shotgun again for Cheek. Ani in motion. It's going to be a quick pitch to Ani. Running around the edge, ducks down and will get close to the first down. You know, they call those a pass. That's a pass.
It is a pass, yeah.
A little bit of a pitch pass.
It's a little pitch because it's a pass because the ball is tossed forward. Therefore, that is a forward pass. And so that goes down as some passing yardage for Cheek there. But either way, you know, Chatard, they're just going to do whatever they can to just keep this drive going and keep the clock moving at this point, even though it's the third quarter.
Third down and a long one. Dalen Taylor, the man in the backfield, he's just going to get it and go left. A juke move, and it looks like the ball might have been able to extend across the first down line. And I believe they're going to give him enough for the first. No, they're going to mark him about a half a yard short.
It's going to be pretty close. I'd say I think he got it, to be quite honest, based on because it's right in front of us here in the press box. I think he got it, just by the nose of the football. They may bring the chain gang out here, but either way, it's 4th and short. Chatard's going to go for it, and they're probably going to pick up the first down. We'll have to see what they call here. I would just do a little quarterback sneak. And that's probably what they're not. Yeah, they're just going to take the 4th down here, and I just punch it forward and keep the drive moving.
So 4th down, and it will be under center. Cheek, and a quick pitch out to the left side, and Taylor is going to get the first down and a lot more out of bounds. Continuing the drive, down to 2 minutes remaining here in the third quarter.
And the Chatard offensive line, you know, they weren't like in any blocking positions. They just pushed and pushed forward, and that created enough room for them to just get enough space to get the first down there on that good pitch.
Yes, sir.
First down and 10 now. We're going to get this first down play in, and then we're going to send it down for a sideline interview with the coach, Keith Myers, again. This time a handoff to Gilbert. Gilbert gets bottled up and taken down after a minimal gain. And Keith, you got a special guest with you down there.
I do. It's CYO night here at Guerin Catholic, and Lucas is with us. How about these games tonight?
I have to say, they're really good. I like them. I've heard that Bishop Chatard is the best in the country.
Pretty big boys, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
This kid's a 5th grader. He's a future Golden Eagle or a Chatard Trojan. I don't know, but he's liking the game tonight.
Where does he go to school?
He goes to Our Lady of Grace. Our Lady of Grace.
Our Lady of Grace. Thank you very much. And a quick pass right side to the best team in the nation. Good pass. Good pitch.
And so now if you're Guerin, you try and do whatever you can, but Chatard, they're just gonna keep grounding and pounding it right here as we're just taking inside of a minute of this third quarter, a very, very quick third quarter, and as you could expect with how much they're running the ball.
Gilbert still in the backfield. Cheek goes under center with a 3rd and 1. Got some man in motion. And it will be a handoff to Gilbert. He's got a lot of space up the middle. Breaks through the line, keeps on his feet, and he spins out of another would-be tackler all the way into the zone for the score.
I counted 4 broken tackles on that play there, Brent, and and now it's interesting. Now that's the first player not named Taylor or Sawinski to score a touchdown for Bishop Chatard tonight, and so and that's exactly what you get out of that kind of player in Gilbert is that big play factor. He's one of those guys you just bring in, and you have design plays for him to get those big chunks of yardage, and that's exactly what you've been seeing every time he's gotten his hands on the ball.
And I think he said, "Dalen, let me score this time." Extra point is out there. The kick is up, and it is through the uprights. So 35-0 is now the score. 39 seconds left here in the third quarter.
How does a good man become even better? By working out? Or by working his way up the corporate ladder? By changing his diet? Or by changing his style? By traveling the world? Or by staying perfectly still? For 300 years, we've helped good men become the best versions of themselves through a dedicated fraternity and by taking an oath to live a life of integrity, service, and brotherly love. Men who are as committed to each other and their families as they are to our noble cause. In the end, we don't just make men better, we make them Masons. Not just a man, a Mason.
35-0 the score here from Guerin Catholic High School. The Bishop Chatard Trojans, #1 team in the class of 3A, looking just like that. We're going to get the kickoff here, and then we're going to have to send it down to the sideline to Keith Myers. He's going to let us know about the running clock that we're going to experience the rest of the way as the kick is up, and it is returned by Schramm off the left side, cuts back, and he'll be cut down at right across the 25-yard line. Mr. Myers, let us know about what we're going to experience the rest of the way.
The sportsmanship award is it's a 35-point lead anytime in the second half. The clock will continuously run. It will only stop on timeouts and scores. If Guerin even comes close to tying this, it still will run. The clock will still run. So it's a running clock here on out, guys.
Looks like one more play here in the third quarter. Thank you very much, Coach. First down, turn, handoff. Lowering the shoulder is Bumgarner. Bottled up, gain of 1, and that will be the end of the third quarter. But before we step aside, we're going to take a look at the replay of that last run, and it might be one of those stumbling, bumbling. Take it away.
How did that go?
I don't know.
Either way, yeah, it's the big play factor from Gilbert here, and you see just look how many tacklers he's able to evade. I mean, good effort there by Guerin to keep on him, but also good blocking from Sawinski. And then either way, Gilbert, he's one of those elusive players and those big play players that you just put in there to make those big plays, and that's exactly what you saw.
Oh, look at it. Stumbling, bumbling. And takes it in for the score. Like they do sometimes, like a Chris Berman type play call. Yeah. We'll let it be.
Oh, man. Wow, what am I experiencing
I don't know. I don't know. We're experiencing a running clock the rest of the way. I know that. Coach Myers let us know about it. It's a new rule implemented this season. It helps for definitely some games where when the clock wears out and those very high scoring, very wide margin affairs, that's when play gets a little loose. That's when players get loose. And that's when injuries happen, different things of that sort. Also helps for those that need to travel far away. Doesn't keep you there for a strenuous long game. It is actually a rule implemented to help the players.
It's essentially a mercy rule, and another one of those things here, as you see Guerin line up here for another second down play, is another thing is you see them do is with this running clock is the fact that it keeps the clock moving, but also one thing that people get confused with a lot and a lot of people don't explain this very well, is like even if Guerin scores here and takes that deficit back within 35 points, the clock still does not stop, because once you have reached that 35-point threshold, regardless of where the game is, that clock keeps on running no matter what.
Which, I don't think many teams are going to stage a 35-point comeback.
I mean, we've seen crazier things.
We have seen crazier things, which would then make this rule become crazy if all of a sudden you're within a touchdown and the other team just runs the ball or simply passes the ball or does whatever they want with the ball and just eats up that clock nonstop. So, it's a rule right now that's been added, and I haven't heard too many quaffs against it or anything of that sort. So I believe it's one of those that a lot of people agree with. So it's second down now after another carry by Guerin. It was a good scamper on the right side by Christian Gelov. But, both of these teams, you look at Chatard, obviously a spectacular team in the Class 3A, got to be one of the favorites, along with West Lafayette in the Class 3A to try and take home the crown at Lucas Oil Stadium. But, this Guerin Catholic team, coming into this game, one tough loss to Brebeuf. That's the only blemish on the schedule. A lot of good wins the rest of the games. This could be one of those games where this might be a humbling experience for them, but a chance for them to grow and build after this.
Well, yeah, and you coming into this game, the Sagarin ratings have Bishop Chatard #1. But, you look at the other polls here, like the AP, they're #2 behind West Lafayette. The IHSAA coaches poll, they are also #2 behind West Lafayette. West Lafayette is playing if I'm looking at this, they're playing Benton Central tonight, which will probably be a blowout win for them as well. After this game tonight, you're looking at Chittard. They have a pretty good argument as to why they should be the number one across all the relevant polls whatsoever. This Chittard team is for real. This was one of their toughest tests. This was probably the toughest game that they were going to have all season long, especially a big conference matchup at number 7 Guerin. And so they're able to really build off of this big momentum that they're getting off of this game and moving forward to the season. This Chittard team, they're for real.
And we've obviously mentioned the big loss for them was that loss to Cathedral, where they did lose that game, but it was a tough fought game against one of the top teams in the class of 5A, and obviously Cathedral is one of those teams that's going to be there in the conversation at the top of whatever class they are. So that's not a loss to hang your hat on or anything of that sort. It's a really, really good season so far for Chittard. We look at a quick play here around edge and a good carry. Elijah Edwards gets taken down. So they are driving on this possession. Clock is down to 9 minutes left in the game.
And then, taking a look at Chittard's schedule moving forward here, they've actually got they've got a big home game coming up against Normal West Illinois, a team out of Illinois that they have coming in, and then they close off against Terre Haute North and Bloomington South, both 5A teams that this 3A team is facing. And so they've still got some pretty big tough tests. But as far as overall matchup, this game was probably going to be one of their biggest tests, and they've done an excellent job of getting it done tonight.
Also with this game as well, this is where Chittard now has the ultimate opportunity to capture the Circle City Conference as well.
Yeah, if obviously all signs are pointing towards a Chittard victory here tonight, and if they do that, they'll move to 3-0 in the conference, and also Guerin Catholic will drop to 0-2. They've only played one conference game in this Circle City Conference so far this season, so not exactly what you're looking for as far as the Golden Eagles are concerned when it comes to wanting to try and make sure that you're staying relevant and staying in the conversation for the conference title this season.
Play action pass out to the left side. Completed and taken down. So, in the midst of all of this, both teams are still trying. Both teams are out there playing as hard as they possibly can. Both starters are still out on the field for both Chittard and Guerin, and Guerin is moving the football on this possession.
But you're seeing from Guerin right now what you wanted to probably see from them a quarter ago. Right. They're spreading the ball out. They're throwing it very well. They're also running the ball real well here. But keep in mind also, Chittard's probably got some of the second team players in there now a little bit as well. But either way, you're seeing what this offense is, or what could be, when the game is a little bit further along down the road. But either way, this is something that you want to see from them a little bit more earlier in the game.
So the chains keep moving. I believe they picked up 3 first downs now on this possession. And it looks like they're going to be knocking on the red zone for the first time tonight. Chittard, we had them earlier against Roncalli here on Indiana SRN, and now a pump fake looking for Bernie McGinnis, and a flag is thrown all over McGinnis. You saw fantastic coverage earlier in the game by Chittard. That is number 48 there out. Jackson Boland this time got a little bit too much. Looks like he might be cramping out up as well.
I mean, and that's a pretty easy call for the officials right there. He had his hand on him the entire time, and we got an official timeout on the field here, and so you got an official timeout on the field here as they're looking to go that. Now I think Keith Myers, he has a popcorn rating.
Yeah, one handful. Everyone knows the rules. Keith.
Hey, the popcorn thing that we've been doing all year long. 8.2 has been the leader. That's been at Triton Central. 8-6. Guerin Catholic, they take over the lead for the popcorn league.
Hey, Keith, do you say one handful, everyone knows the rules? Say that. Okay.
All
right. Thank you, Keith.
You bet.
8.6. Wow, quite the score.
That's some pretty good popcorn, I guess.
Yes, it is. One handful, everyone knows the rules. How come we can't say that?
No.
I don't know.
Because you're saying it.
I guess. But Continue with what your thought was. Garen Catholic. Yeah, he did upgrade inflation.
Yeah.
How about Garen Catholic? You're about to mention their next 2 games. It's pretty mind-boggling.
Well, yeah, and they're actually, this is the first game of a 3-game homestand that they have here. They've got 3 straight home games, which is pretty rare for a high school football team. So, at least you have that advantage. But, you have 2 good teams in Pontiac Notre Dame out of Michigan, as well as Bloomfield Hills Rice out of Michigan. So you got 2 big teams out of Michigan. And they're going to be live right here on Indiana SRN. And also, then you close out the season against a tough team in 4A Roncalli on the road. And so, you take this game, you just take it in stride.
Right.
You go up against here, you got 2 more home games, and that's the other thing that you can hang your hat on is the fact that you're going to be coming back right here to this field, and you're going to be playing at home again. You don't have to travel all the way up to Michigan to play these 2 games. And so you just regroup, you keep going at what you're going to do, and then you can end up just coming away with a couple of big wins if you want to try and get them. You just keep moving forward if you're Garen Catholic. You're 4-1 now, about to be 4-2 on the season, and then after that, you just keep the momentum going because you still learn a lot about yourself in this game right here, especially against a team as tough as Chittard.
We have something coming up now. If you have been following us all year, we have something we like to call Aspen Creek Trivia Question.
Oh.
You get this right, and you have a chance on Twitter. You send in your answer at Indiana SRN. Who was the last Colts opponent in Baltimore? And I repeat, who was the last Colts opponent in Baltimore?
I'm guessing I'm not allowed to say the answer on the air.
You're not allowed to say it's the Baltimore Ravens.
Well, no, because the Baltimore Ravens are the Cleveland Browns.
Exactly. So, if you know the answer to that question, tweet your answer to at Indiana SRN with the hashtag Aspen Creek Trivia for a chance to win a $25 gift card to Aspen Creek Grill. Jump ball is a little bit too long, intended for Bernie McGinnis. And, of course, Aspen Creek Grill, have you been?
I have not, actually.
Oh, it's fantastic. It is fantastic. When you tweet, make sure you tweet at Indiana SRN. That is our Twitter handle. So, of course, we're inching ever closer to 1,000 followers. So
got to get that 1K.
If you are the 1,000th follower, the Wizard will give you a $100. Pardon me, $25 gift card to Aspen Creek Grill. So 2 chances to win the Aspen Creek Grill gift card. And Bumgarner wants the touchdown. He'll be held up short. But, yeah, if you go to Aspen Creek Grill, they've got some powwow shrimp.
Oh, that sounds good.
It's fantastic. They've got some good salmon, steaks. They've got burgers. Anything you want. You want to watch the Colts game, that's a away game, or if you don't have tickets to go to the home game, you go there. TVs everywhere. Tasty pops and food.
Well, that's the whole thing, reason to go there, isn't it? You get the food?
Food. Food and some nice cold Pepsis or Cokes, whichever one they have. Not too sure. Big play here. 3rd down. Right side, back of the end zone is going to be overthrown. So now a 4th down, a chance to get some points on the board. Right now it's just all about a little bit more of morale. Trying to get a feel-good touchdown and a big chance here with 4th down. And we got a follower. You're close, whoever that was, you're close. Jay Keezy, 79, thank you for the follow. You're close. Not quite the 1,000th, but you're close.
And you can't unfollow and then refollow to try to be the 1,000th.
Right. Exactly. I was doing that a couple times.
Are you trying to rig the competition here, Brent?
I had like 7 different handles. I followed. Didn't work out. Rolling near us is Gelov. Has his man, and in for the score and a late hit is going to be called. But a good catch and taking it into the end zone for Garen Catholic is going to be Braden Hall off the reception. So a touchdown for Garen Catholic gets this one 35-6. And we'll see if they knock in the extra point.
And it looked like Patrick Martesian, he looked like he may have led with his head there a little bit. They're probably going to get him for unnecessary roughness because that was a pretty rough hit as they were going out of bounds there.
Out there for the extra point. Oh, touchdown count. And they're going to call the personal foul.
Will be assessed on the kickoff.
Luke Etchison out for the extra point. Etchison getting ready to put a right foot into this one.
For the Golden Eagles, Gelo Sahol. Snap by Sawyer.
Snap is good, hold great, and Etchison gets it through the uprights. We're going to keep it right here as this clock will continue to roll.
And now they're
let's take a look at the touchdown.
And so, yeah, rare time we've gotten to actually talk about Guerin getting into the end zone here, but you see you're just rolling out here a little bit. Wide open space here for Kellogg, and just pitches it to his check down guy and in, and that is a clear penalty there on Bishop Chittard there. Just a little bit too rough on that penalty there and on that tackle there. There's not exactly any need to do it that way, but you see once again lots of space for him to work and just gets it in there for an easy 6.
So the kickoff is coming up, 2:41. This 2:41 will go by very fast, as it is now 35-7. The number one team in the Sagarin rating, the Sagarin rating. Jeez, I keep on saying Sagarin. What you got, Don?
Quick final score here for you. Mount Vernon beats Pendleton 18-14, but also still in action right now. Heritage Christian on top of Covenant 34-20. Covenant showing some signs of life late in that game. So that'll definitely be a good one there. You can tune in to our other Indiana SRN stations to catch all the action on those contests.
2:41 remaining here. As we mentioned, the personal foul, the penalty against Chittard puts this one at the 45 of Chittard. Now they get a chance to practice the onside kick. Now they're going to kick it off. Return. Taken down immediately. So a quick look. If you like watching these games and you want to watch a replay of the games, you can check it out here on YouTube. Our YouTube channel, Indiana SRN, Indiana Sports Radio Network. Check us out on YouTube. Subscribe. Hit the link. Subscribe. All right, Jerry, that's what he does. I got a nod from the wizard. Thank you very much. 2 minutes, 30 seconds left. Clock is beginning to tick. And as I mentioned, Kurt, this clock will go down quickly. But sledding the rest of the way for both sides. The rest of the season. And if all things line up the right way, these two could see each other in the playoffs.
It is a very, very distinct possibility. These two teams, they could end up seeing each other in the postseason again. And, that's the one thing that with that possibility in mind, and if it happens again, if you're Guerin, you take this loss and you take it when you have a chip on your shoulder going into that postseason game. That's if it happens.
Right.
But either way, You let 35 points get away from you here against this Chittard team if you're Guerin. You avoided the shutout, which, at least, saves a little bit of dignity for you. But either way, Guerin, they played as especially the defense. The defense did everything you possibly could expect out of them tonight. Unfortunately, the offense wasn't able to turn that good defense into good offense. Now, when I say they played good defense and yet they gave up 35 points, keep in mind this is a Chittard team that did everything right on offense, and the defense did everything they possibly could to keep the team in the game.
Right.
And it just didn't pan out for them.
It's one of those things as well, as you mentioned, defense. Defense can win you some tough games, but when you give up a couple of big plays, you saw the big run, a couple of big touchdown runs, another big run by Gilbert, and just a fantastic job on defense as well for Chittard with that big fumble recovery, setting them up deep in their own territory for the easy touchdown score. You've got to eliminate those mistakes. We talked about that in the pregame. Turnovers, penalties. Penalties didn't really affect either team, but the turnovers truly did. Big time game and win, a top 10 win for Chittard. This is a carry, and wow, lowering the shoulder on that carry. A lot of backups in the game for both sides.
And so now the clock keeps ticking down, and now Chittard, they start focusing on Normal West Illinois, who they will be hosting at their home stadium next Friday night, October 4th. That game at 7 p.m. And then talking about Guerin Catholic, their next matchup will be once again right here in Carmel, and you can catch the game right here on Indiana SRN. Pontiac, Notre Dame, Michigan, going to be coming to town, making that big